Can we find an elite, not a like a number 12 player at the wide receiver position? Can we find an elite wide receiver one in round number 4? We're going to try and do that live on the channel. Your boy is in a weekly winner. I encourage you to jump into a weekly winner draft with me. I got the 1 pick. never happened on a live stream, I think, in the last at least, I don't know, month, but we got the 1 pick. The question is, can we do this? Is going to be tough to force the issue of going non-wide receiver through for the first 3 rounds and try and come back for a wide receiver here, but we can still find a wide receiver 1 even if we've already drafted a wide receiver 1. Meaning, can I get 2 wide receiver 1s? Will 1 be available? And if not, if my draft slot isn't conducive to this type of talk, we're still going to walk you through in round 4 where the wide receiver 1s are hidden. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition, wide receiver 1s as late as we can get them and identify them. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever.
Graveyard stream.
Yep, buddies. We got this number 1 overall pick finally. Haven't been able to draft a little Jahmyr Gibbs in a while, on a live stream at least. So we're here talking tonight about late wide receiver 1s. Wide receiver 1s as late as we can find them. I still have to update this ADP. It's about, 6 days behind, but there's not a ton out of place other than Egbuka does seem to be in a different location. He seems to be in that 3.10, 3.8, 3.12 territory, so he's going really high. So we will have to adjust and adapt on that. But if I'm trying to identify the latest wide receiver 1s, you start with Rice. Rice is in the 3rd round. That's an easy smash for a late wide receiver 1. Neighbors is a great wide receiver 1. And I'll rank these maybe in a second. Flowers, I could say Flowers for sure. Higgins, but they're not. This isn't my favorite wide receiver 1. Ladd is probably one of the later favorite wide receiver 1s. Garrett Wilson, G. Willie, has definitely wide receiver 1 potential. Buka, who's now above those guys practically. So Buka is a really high ranked player. I'm writing these down. Mike Evans, he's on the graphic tonight. Mike Evans is a wide receiver 1. McLaurin's flirting with that. Burden's flirting with that. Garrett Wilson. Adams might be the latest wide receiver 1. And he can be, I want to say, truly, potentially mid-range wide receiver 1. This is probably the latest wide receiver 1. This is the second latest. So I'll rank these as the best latest wide receiver 1. This is the second best latest wide receiver 1. And maybe Neighbors, if he falls into round 4, could be the next up. Let's go back to the board real quickly. Let's see what we can cook up here. Josh Allen, Trey McBride. Should we try and do? Let's try and stick to the script here. Let's go, Josh. Oh, Kenneth Walker. What in the hell? This is weeklies, but what in the hell is he doing down here? Whoa. We could literally try and do the McBride. Man, this is crazy. So we are going to try and punt wide receiver. This will be interesting. The theme of the night is to try and grab our wide receiver 1 as late as possible. I didn't think it was going to happen. I don't know how in the hell Walker fell all the way down. Is that not wild? It's weekly winners, but still, did Walker get injured tonight? Did I go out Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot? I don't know if we'll have time. Did I have a little too much meatloaf? Did I miss a breaking news piece on Kenneth Walker? Did something happen to Kenneth Walker while I was eating chow? While I was scarfing down the meatloaf? I mean, that's pretty crazy, if you ask me. So we're going to try and do the late wide receiver. Wow, I didn't expect to be able to do it from the 1 spot or be forced to do it from the 1 spot. I thought, damn it, wrong draft selection for tonight's topic, because sometimes I try and take a little bit of a guess, but geez. Phone lines are open. Let's discuss this.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Let's discuss this. So Buka, Rice, Neighbors, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Evans, Adams. Not suggesting there aren't other names you would throw out there in the mix. Some would say Ted McMillan. Some would say Waddle. Some would say Luther Burden. I get it. BTJ's got like that quiet 6th round potential to be in the 12 to 15, the 10 to 15. But I think like strong, I'm feeling really good about my team. I did a good job. I think I drafted the best team available, best players available, best team, monster squad. I think Adams does kind of, I think Adams and Evans fall as the two deepest potential top. I would even say to qualify for the latest elite wide receiver 1, you have to be capable of being a wide receiver 7. And I think that Adams probably a little less likely to be 7, more like maybe 9 to 12. Evans has the ability to be top 5 to 7. I truly believe that about Mike Evans. Mike Evans just lives in such an amazing situation. Ladd McConkey, that might be our best shot at like 6 to 10 wide receiver numbers. So Laddie Boy, 6 to 10. Neighbors, wide receiver 7 to 12, because I think, he will have some hampered early part of the season games. Evans, let's call Evans 6 to 10 as well. So I think Ladd and Evans are pretty damn close. And let's call Adams a 8 to 12 wide receiver potential. So 7 to 12 in Neighbors. Rice could be literally like 3 to suspended. 3 to suspended. Buka's like 5 to 11. Neighbors, that's Neighbors. Garrett Wilson feels like he's like 8 to 15. Something like that. Okay, let's go back to the board, see who's falling. Did Adams go? Come on, guys. I knew some of you would jump in here. I don't know that there's anybody left. You guys are ridiculous, man. Evans and Adams, it's unbelievable. Okay. Wow. Terry McLaurin feels like he's got a little bit of that. DJ Moore, Waddle, Luther Burden, Christian Watson. I guess I'll go Luther Burden. Yeah, man, this kind of didn't work out. I don't know that I like this. Hey, Michael from San Diego, you're live. Man, I didn't think you guys were gonna. There was 2 of you in here. I didn't think you'd snipe. I didn't think you'd take Adams and near the 3-4 turn. This didn't work out like it could have. And I don't think that this is something you should not try again. You should try and weekly winners pull some of these guys up anyway. Weekly winners might be the least likely. Like, I just couldn't pass on Walker there. I don't know. This still has a shot at doing well. I mean, that trio I got is crazy. Buka at 3
Smitty, you don't. I was gonna say you don't like JMO in weekly winners.
I do.
Perfect weekly winner.
I do like him in weekly winners. I think McLaurin's really good in weekly winners. I think Burden's really good in weekly winners. So I'm fine with both of them.
Fair enough.
I don't know. They're all pretty close. JMO's pretty good too, but I think JMO might give me less shots. But boy, this is. I mean, you got to remember weekly winners. You're not trying to. Sometimes you have a team where you're like, this team would never make it in a best ball mania or a big board or a puppy. But in weekly winners, any one of these teams can just come together. But man, there were some early draft selections here. But Walker, kind of surprising in weekly winners, Walker falls to 24. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, why would
Henry first round?
Huh?
Henry first round is what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense to why he'd fall all the way to 24. It doesn't. It doesn't
No
compute.
fair. This is a wonky draft.
I don't know. I don't understand why he fell. I didn't want to take Buka as early as this guy took Buka. I think that this, we've got some snipers in here that are taking all the show picks really early. That fantasy football show team down at the 12 spot's pretty good. The Genty, Barkley, Neighbors, McConkey, Bucky, May. why don't you just take the bold prediction list, put it right under your pillow, and sleep with it at night? Adams, JMO, Quentin Johnson, Lamb, Hampton, Love. That's a good one too. The ones that got Adams, the ones that got McConkey, Neighbors. Those teams are very the fantasy football show friendly. We got Hammer dropping a wad over in the Rumble chat. Hammer, appreciate you dropping the $20 super chat. Hammer said, hold on one second, Michael. I'll be right with you. Let me just grab this real quickly. Hammer says the following, ladies and gentlemen. He says, appreciate the grind, young man. Thank you, Hammer. Appreciate you. Yeah, this didn't quite go as planned. But I don't hate the team. Again, weekly winners like McLaurin. How many times do you think McLaurin's a top 5 wide receiver this year? At least like 1 or 2 times, right? Top 5 or 7. I mean, he can get that. He can get that once. Appreciate the grind. Thank you, Hammer. Burden, I think, will be in the top 7 a couple times. I think he's definitely solid enough for that. Now, you guys aren't leaving me anything, by the way. We'll go Jaden Daniels here. That's pretty good. And then wide receiver, what do you think? Jordan Tyson, Parker Washington, DK Metcalf.
Oh, I feel like you got to go Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Upside.
Big swing here. So,
yeah.
Again, keeping in mind this is weekly winners, so you're trying to just get everybody to come together for 1 week. There's no accumulation of points. There's no playoffs.
I guess Metcalf would be, not bad. But
Metcalf's not bad. I like this team, though. This is pretty good. Hammer in the building. What's up, Hammer? Appreciate you. Simi Valley in the building. Shelly in the building. This is a pretty good squad. I mean, Tyson gives me that big, huge swing. Tyson, Bird, McLaurin, not my best receiver room I've ever consolidated, but JD5, McBride, Walker, and Gibbs is pretty sick. Like how do you complain about a light wide receiver room when I've cuffed JD5 to McLaurin? That's really nice. So, I guess the thing you would say is all, Gibbs, Walker, and McBride need to go off. If they go off, and JD5 and McBride and JD5 and McLaurin have their day, then I'm in the mix. Yeah, it's a pretty good team. I don't mind it. It wasn't my favorite start or my favorite middle, I should say. Loved the start. It was definitely a risky start, but man, I couldn't pass on Walker. I don't think I've ever got Walker that late. That's crazy. I had to take it. What's up, Michael?
Yeah, funny enough, I tried this strategy earlier as well, just because I think it's an interesting strategy to try this year. But I also didn't like my first 2 wide receivers. I had mine was a little bit better. I like Devontae Adams. I had Devontae Adams and DJ Moore.
I would have got Devontae Adams if I wasn't with 2 or 3 snipers in here.
Yeah. Wild. What do you think on? I know we've had the DJ Moore talk before. I see a lot of talk around him now is that he's just kind of a wash receiver. And,
no.
A lot of people aren't.
No one.
Well, at least on ESPN. Maybe those guys you don't take serious.
Bro, no one's got any information on that. That's a bunch of made up guesstimations. Bro, there's nothing to show that DJ Moore is washed up. That's ridiculous. I
agree with you, but what they use is his total stats from last year, which is obviously flawed considering he's playing with Burden and Rome and Loveland. So,
well, not to mention, bro, that he's playing with Caleb. Caleb is the most erratic quarterback in the league, proven statistically, by the way. He was a bottom at a lot of those erratic categories. So there was not a lot of consistency for DJ Moore. Not to mention, they were kind of like, I mean, them moving on shows you how they felt about his, placement. And then he got a lot of neglect not only just by Caleb's inability to play in structure and scramble around, but and choose different receivers each week, but just the play selection, a lot less screens. They didn't go toward him. He's still got, in my opinion, he's still got a year and a half left. A year and a half. Man, Parker Washington almost fell, but why would he fall? Why would anyone allow that? Why would any of those drafting with me allow that? Damn, man. Parker would have been nice. That would have been a nice. I'm going to go Fannin here. I don't have... No, I have McBride. I think I'll still go Fannin. And then I think I'll go... I could go Downs. Downs is pretty good.
I kind of like Addison, though. In this format, weekly winners, he always has like 2 or 3 monster games. I don't know.
I need a receiver. I'm going to go Downs. Yeah, Addison ain't bad. I think Downs all bad. It's not the best receiver room. I mean, let's be honest, but there's a lot of upside there. Like Luther Burden, there's a chance Luther Burden and McLaurin are top 10 wide receivers in a single week, together. That's all you're looking for. It's such a crate. Has anybody seen?
I don't think it's bad considering the start. Considering the start, like you said, you're going to have some good boom weeks.
Has anybody seen Walker fall to 25 before in weeklies? Has anybody ever seen that? That's crazy, man. But it did set me up for, I don't want to say like wide receiver scarcity really, but it did. But JD5 was a phenomenal pick too. So I don't know. McLaurin JD5 is pretty cool. God, I've never seen Walker fall that far. It's weird though too because weekly winners is definitely different. But
I think the way you look at the team is you should have consistency from your first 3 picks.
Which I do.
And then you're just looking for the boom games from the wide receivers, and that'll take you to the promised land.
Well, this is a pretty cool team. This is a pretty cool team. I gotta admit, like, this isn't a team that I won't look back on. I think this is one that I'll edit the name and look for it later because honestly, it's so unique. And if Gibbs, Walker, McBride ball out, I'm just basically waiting for the week that JD5 and McLaurin have a huge game together. And if it's the same week, I'm in the money. And then I like the Fannin and McBride. And for anybody, again, doesn't understand weekly winners, there's no accumulation of points. There's no week 17 has nothing to do with week 5. Week 12 has nothing to do with week 15. Your entire team could be suspended for the entire year except for week 17, and you could have a chance to win $20K in week 17. Every week, the winner wins $20K. This team is one of those teams that can score 300 points. Sean. It's a pretty good team. I kind of like it. It's unique. It's unique for sure. Now, the key here is these are a couple important picks because these are supporting cast picks or Wandell would have been nice here. But you same snipers keep grabbing these boys at the same time. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do here. Oh, I know what I'm going to do.
Coker on the board? Or no?
Yeah, I'm going to take, quiet. Hold on.
Sorry.
That's right. I'm going to grab Jalen Coker and Okonkwo here to get JD5 and Okonkwo hooked up here. So now I've got Gibbs, Walker, McBride, McLaurin, Okonkwo, JD5, Coker, Downs, Tyson, Burden, McLaurin. I don't know. It's pretty crafty. Imagine if JD5 like has like a 4 or 5 touchdown game. Concour's got 100 and a touch. McLaurin's got 100 and a touch. Burden's like 100 yards. McBride has his day. Walker has his day. Gibbs has his day. Boom. That's all I need. I don't even regret a pick. The only thing I don't like is that players that I would have rather drafted, I would have wanted slightly more than a couple of these guys got taken. That's the only. There's no regrets as to what I picked when I picked it. It's just the board. Look at the board. The board was crazy. Igbuka going 3.2 was nuts. I mean, he can earn it, but that was just, he was so early. Mike Evans and Adams both going, but I don't have a lot of shares of McLaurin anyway, so I don't mind this, especially given that JD5 fell. It's a good little team. What else you got, Michael?
I'm shocked how far JMO fell. I'm not a big JMO guy, but in weekly winners, I feel like you should consume him everywhere just because he's going to have 3-4 games that are just ridiculous.
Viral, you still here? Appreciate you, by the way. Viral, thank you for the super chases. I'm back. Time to lock in. Let me know you're still here, bro. Sorry if I didn't see that right away. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you for dropping the super chat. So my running backs. Let's see here. At this point, let's see here. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm so sold on what I've got already. I think a lot of this, and not everybody thinks this way, and not every time do I build this way, but I'm kind of like just going to continue to build a supporting cast around what I have. And what I mean by that, just wait 1 second. I traded Demario Douglas and a 28 third for Tesla. I mean, Demario Douglas, bro. I would have done that too. That's a good trade. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna continue to kind of build around this team, which means I'm gonna grab Pacheco, and then right here I'm gonna grab Jonah Coleman just to get that extra RB up in this mug. So right now, as it stands, I like Keaton, but I'm more worried about protecting. Like, if everything goes crazy with this team and Gibbs sits out and Pacheco scores twice, I don't want to be, like, taken out of the running, you know what I mean? So I'm glad I got Pacheco. I think he's capable if Gibbs was down. Jonah Coleman gives me a little extra firepower. I'll certainly try and cuff Walker. And then I've got McLaurin, Okonkwo, JD5. I've got Tyson. I've got Downs. I got Coker, Fannin, McBride. It's an unbelievable team. I like it. A little thin at wide receiver, but like it comes at a cost, right? You can't have Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, and Trey McBride and not be a little lighter than the average bear at wide receiver. I mean, that's that, and I still got JD5. Like, you're gonna have some holes somewhere. That's a pretty good squad. I like it. I didn't like it at first, but I'm starting to really like it.
Yeah, I had a question about Kenneth Walker / Rashee Rice, if I may. At least your thoughts on it.
Kenneth Walker, Rice, what about it?
I've been thinking a lot. I like Rice, obviously, without the controversy, but I'm wondering, because they haven't had a good run game in so long, do you think that some of his usage is dialed back? Because they were giving him like goal line carries a few times last year just because they didn't like what they had in the RB room. So I'm wondering how much Kenneth Walker changes his overall offense for Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes coming off that knee injury. Are they going to just lean run heavy more and his volume ticks down? Not a lot, but a little bit, and he's not going to pay off his value? Or like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think Walker is probably going. I mean, he's really efficient, bro. He's really, really efficient. Like his big playability is off the charts. I think that Walker, with the right offensive scheming, which I think he's got now, the amount of money they're paying him, they're fully committed to him. It's not like they drafted a Brashard Smith and he's got to learn football and all that. Like, this is a totally different, situation. You also have Mahomes getting eased back into action. They're not going to want to put him in crazy positions. And think about it. Mahomes goes out there. What do you think the first? I mean, you never know. I could see him throwing it, but you're probably going to see him just hand the ball off. They're probably going to be like, let's get Mahomes kind of loose. And I could just see him running a ton, man, the first month of football. I think he's going to be unbelievable, Walker, as long as he stays healthy. Staying healthy is my only concern. I don't have a backup quarterback yet. I do have McBride, so it makes sense to go Jacoby. And again, if he gets benched or whatever, like, I'm going to get that many shots at it, as many as Brissett stays in there. And there's word today that they want to pay him, and we'll see. But what were we talking about?
The second part of the question was how that affects Rashee Rice, because they were using him in goal line formation a lot of the time, giving him straight handoffs into the end zone. And so I'm wondering, even if his volume ticks down slightly enough to not pay off ADP.
I don't think so. I think that Mahomes is going to throw primarily to him. I think Worthy will have a good year, but Mahomes is still going to throw a lot. I mean, the way I guess I look at it is that Mahomes will run less, so that means when he is dropping back to pass, all those times where he could tuck and run, there's a higher chance he's just throwing it. So, and, trying to protect him, I'm not saying they're going to baby him, because he's Mahomes and he's a fast healer. He's a football player. I don't think they're going to baby him, but I do think that they won't potentially early on set him up for like some, like, I think there's going to be a lot of quick passing. There's going to be a lot of running. There's going to be a lot of let's make sure we protect Mahomes as much as possible in month one while he's still not yet 100%. We don't want him dropping back for 4 seconds, holding onto the ball, getting blindsided, or tucking and running. It's like, here, and not to mention, like, Rashee Rice, man, they haven't had him in this whole thing together, like in the beginning of the year, and have the preparation and all that. Like, it's going to be well organized. I think this is going to be a really good year for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think Walker and Rice can coexist as much as Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Chase Brown can coexist. Dial back a little bit the passing attack, and then you take out T. Higgins, and that's kind of what, like, you're looking at here. Like, how can Mahomes not feed just one wide receiver? And Worthy's there, but he's not going to be consuming so much that we're worried about any volume for Rice. So how does Mahomes not feed Rice and Walker still get fed if Burrow can feed? Not only can the Bengals feed on the ground Chase Brown, but they throw to him and feed both those wide receivers. The Chiefs have an eclectic offense. It's a very, very high octane situation. I'm excited about it.
Fair enough. Can't believe Travis Hunter's going in 16 here.
Yeah. I don't know what else to do here. Why not? I can't wait because the people in this draft, like, I don't really care. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go Kalen Black and Jordan James. Give me that if McCaffrey goes down, have that massive upside there. It's weekly winners again. I'm not trying to win a 17 game or 17 week season. I'm trying to win 1 week for $20K. Taylor and Genty or CMC at 5 before Bowers and Josh. Taylor, Genty, or CMC at 5 before Bowers and Josh. Before, what do you mean before Bowers? What does that even mean? You mean you're taking Bowers, then Josh in rounds 2 or 3, Coach? If so, why don't you just say it? What are you talking about? This code here. I mean, I'm taking Genty.
Yeah.
I'm taking Genty. I personally am taking Genty, and I don't even need to worry about ADP, or am I doing it too early? Genty's my number 3 running back at the end of the year. That's what I'm projecting. So I don't apologize for it. I don't dance around it. I don't worry about it. Taylor, we had a show on Taylor earlier tonight. Go watch the 8 p.m. show, where I'm concerned about Taylor to a degree. And then CMC, I just can't draft this year unless it's weeklies. Weeklies, I like them because if you get 5 elite games out of them, you have 5 chances at 20K. Weekly winners, I'd totally draft CMC. Love it, though. Genty at 5. Heard it here first. Smitty approved. Yeah, it is Smitty approved. 100%. Not even a question in my mind.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Not even a question, young man. We'll do another draft, okay? We'll do another draft at the risk of getting sniped again. I mean, getting sniped kind of put me in a position where I drafted a team I don't normally draft, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm okay with that. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your super chat. Brought to you by Gunner.com. That's right. That's right. I'm wearing my Gunners right now, as are you, Coach. Coach, are we wearing the same Gunners right now? I think these are the ones that Coach got. Travis Dallin, if you want. I said NFC Championship. What's Luis saying here? I said NFC Championship luck falls on their side. Give me the Cowboys. You heard it here first. Cowboys definitely have a chance to really kind of, I think, turn some heads. Even if they don't make it to the championship game, they have a shot at being a surprise division winner. I know that we're all thinking, oh, this is the toughest division. How in the hell are they going to, this is just not one of those situations, Smitty, where the Cowboys, I can envision them winning the division. This is 2020? Yeah, I did do this for 2026. 13-4, 11-6, 10-7. This is what we did for the Cowboys. But this is such an easy thing to imagine getting flipped upside down. Eagles, play calling, who you don't even know what it's going to be. You don't know if things will get better. You have no clue. A.J. Brown gets removed. Maybe things don't get better. Saquon Barkley, massive volume. What if he gets hurt? I like Bigsby. I do. But there's a chance that the Eagles struggle. Maybe they still make the playoffs. They grab a wild card spot. Washington, we don't know what that's fully going to look like. I'd be assuming JD5 stays healthy. Probably is going to be pretty good. Kind of weird they didn't add weapons that they could have added. Maybe the Cowboys surprise everyone. There's definitely a world where that can happen. Anybody that says the Cowboys don't have a shot, they don't know what they're saying. I'm going to go Chris Bell with the last pick in this draft, just in case he comes back, looking super strong later in the year. Call that a dumb pick, but I just wanted to get him on this team for some reason. I really like Chris Bell. I think Chris Bell is going to look phenomenal at some point this year. He's going to give me a late swing if I need it. I like Coker down. I didn't draft a lot of wide receivers in this draft, but it's weekly winners. It's McLaurin, it's Burden, it's Tyson, it's Downs, it's Coker, and Chris Bell. I'm just swinging away like Merrill with this crew. You're only trying to win 1 week. I mean, you're trying to win every week. You're trying to win 20K every single week, but no week is tied to another. It's just the way it is. Love the weekly winners. The weekly winner contest is such a fun contest. It really is. I love it. Michael, what else you got?
The Raiders. Wanted to really discuss overall upside, because I know you were talking about it earlier with Mendoza, that you think they'll probably put him in around weeks 3 or 4. So if that happens, how far do you think? Obviously, they're not going to make the playoffs or make any noise deep into the postseason, but just for fantasy, how good and how efficient do you think that offense is going to look?
I think they look a lot like the Lions did. I've said this about 10 times this week. I think they're going to look a lot like the Lions did when I said the Lions were going to do exactly what the Bengals were going to do, but they were going to do it about a year too early, so they weren't going to necessarily be as an elite of a team as the Bengals were right out of the gate. It would be like more of a flashes of brilliance, and then they'll come back the next year and then prove it. But people will know they're coming. Warning shot. Let's jump into real quickly. Let's jump into a fast puppy. Hit the button. And real quickly before we go over and see what pick I got. The topic of the night was wide receiver ones, the latest wide receiver one that I can find. Honestly, I think McLaurin qualifies because, I mean, he not only is he my wide receiver one, but I believe that there's a chance that he ends up being, you know, especially in weekly winners, a chance of being a wide receiver one for multiple, like he could be top 5, top 4, but maybe at the end of the year he finishes 12, 13, 14, 15, but he is a wide receiver one. Burden could be a wide receiver one. Weeklies, especially, all 3 of these guys could be wide receiver ones on occasional weeks. If this was a different contest, I don't know that it would be the same conversation. Evans, Adams, McConkey, those in round 4 is where, and maybe BTJ is kind of that 5th round guy, but those are the wide receiver ones, in my opinion, the latest wide receiver ones you can find in fantasy, period. And let's see what I got over on the draft. Looks like I got another late pick, damn it. Let's see. Yep, I did. What did I get, 9? Gotta be kidding me. All right, we got a phone caller here. Hold on, Michael. We'll get back to you in 1 second. Let's go over to Brian. Brian, you're live.
Yours, man. What's up? So I'm just calling in because so I'm in a 10-man, 3-man keeper league. Like I've called in a bunch of times before. But so I was planning on keeping H-Hand, JSN, and Walker, and I wanted to draft Buka. I made a trade to get pick 36. But it looks like Buka's. It looks like his projection and his ADP is jumping up on the ESPN platform.
He's jumping everywhere, bro. He's in the 3rd round. We told them. God.
Yeah.
We're so high in the mid 4th.
My league is very much so like they'll draft like whoever's high up on the board. So I was wondering, in a 3-man keeper sort of situation, is it worth considering keeping Buka over Kanon, even though he's looking to have a great year in Kansas City? Would you rather take chances with trying to snag a running back at pick 36? Like
you can't keep Buka if all things are equal. If what you're asking me is to keep Buka over K9, if all things are equal, you're saying?
Yeah.
How many years can you keep Buka, and does it cost you a certain round selection each year? Like, what's that look like?
No, I can keep him forever, free of charge.
Hampton or AJ Brown? 5 seconds, guys. I got Genty.
AJ Brown.
Hampton.
Let's go balance here. Let's go balance. I don't want to do the have to grab the 2 wide receivers at 3.11 and 4.2, which is the pressure you get. We're going to roll with the balance. Okay, so I'm sorry. What was the answer you said? You said you can keep them for how long?
I can keep them for as long as I want, and I'm not going to lose a pick in the future.
Okay, so
it's either do I keep K9 for like this year, maybe next year, or do I keep Buka for a while?
It does change things a little bit. If it was like a 3-year keeper or like something like that, then it would have been like, okay, Walker, bro, is getting drafted so much higher. That does change things, man. Chat, if you could...
Because, like, I want to be able to get Buka.
I know. If you can keep Buka forever, if you want. And how many keepers you get?
3, and I already have JSN and HN.
Yeah, that's pretty good, bro. I mean, in Dynasty, which is what this is, like a partial Dynasty in a way, because you can your keepers you can keep forever. So it's kind of a form of it changes the game a lot. Because in 1 year from now, the only thing that you got to remember, though, this is something in keeper leagues you have to remember, even in your context, 3 keepers, and you got to remember that you're either going to be so bad at this that it doesn't matter, right? Or you're going to be good, and you're going to accumulate another guy and another guy, and then you're going to end up having 4 guys, 5 guys you're trying to decide every year of who to keep. So you can't always influence you to say, well, this guy a year from now, Buka, can be kept forever. And you want to think ahead, but you also have to trust that you're going to have another Pickens. You're going to have another player that you're going to be able to keep. And eventually, you end up just putting yourself in a position where you're dropping someone amazing. So that would make me contemplate still keeping Walker. But I think because your running back stable is already set, I think I do lean toward Buka with the unlimited keeper abilities. It's just a little different. It puts a little dynasty spin on it. Guys, let me know what you think in the chat. If you're talking about 3 keeper league but unlimited number of years, turns it into a partial dynasty question. Do you want Buka or do you want Walker? Knowing that he'll accumulate.
Yes, like I did trade away AJB to get pick 36. So I picked 36 and pick 39. And then I also picked 42. Like I moved. So I have 3 picks so close together. And before it was like, oh, sweet, okay, gonna take a Buka with like 39.
So tell me who you think's gonna be available there. Look at Buka going at freaking 33 now. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Who will be there at like 36 and 39? Maybe like Flowers, McConkey. Ibuka could maybe fall to 36, maybe Kyron, maybe Javonte, maybe Judkins.
Let's go Garrett Wilson once. We haven't gone Garrett Wilson in a while. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
ETN.
I'm gonna go Buka, bro. Final answer. And I don't know that I didn't know that I was gonna say that. I didn't know I was gonna.
And then what? Then you would just try to get like a Kyron or like a ETN or like a Javonte with like pick like 36.
Yeah. Do I go Evans?
And would that be like a useful pick in that range, or would you not go for them that early?
Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm gonna go Evans here. I don't know. I hope I don't regret this. I like this wide receiver room. Garrett Wilson's somebody I'm drafting a little bit more as of late because I haven't grabbed a lot of Garrett Wilson lately. Josh Allen would have been a phenomenal pick there. It's great value at 4.2. You almost can't pass it up. But I am going to try and get the Drake May, AJ. See, if I didn't have AJB, Josh Allen would have been selected. And Garrett Wilson and Evans and AJB is such a unique trio of wide receivers. I want to grab that. This is where, honestly, like I'm borderline where Josh Allen's the best pick no matter what. But I still think Evans enters the equation in certain contexts to be as good, as valuable, given that Drake May, JD5, Joe Burrow, someone like that falls. So we'll have to see how this turns out when it flips back around. But love the team so far. And I'm sorry, bro. What were you saying? And sorry, in the middle of a draft, sometimes I get detoured and then have to come back.
Yeah.
What was the last question?
Yeah, no, I'm completely understand. Yeah, I mean, I was just like, I guess I got to kind of map out what everyone's keepers are.
Yeah, that could help.
What running backs would fall.
That can help, bro. For sure.
I mean, like my thing is about like I wanted to keep Kenneth because in my mind it's like I feel like you're more likely to get a wide receiver that can give you good production in the 4th and 5th.
Yeah, but at the same time, with the keeper value though, do I want Buka and like Hendy or Buka and Tootin, or do I want Walker, who's got the 1-2 years, but like you don't know how much longer, and then what? Like I don't know. Chat, vote one more time. Yeah. A limited keeper amount of time. You can keep Buka forever. Do you keep Walker or Buka? He's already got, who are your 2 running backs?
No, I have him at JSN and Achane. So I have one
JSN and Achane. That's right, JSN and Achane. I could go either way, bro. I could go either way.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, bro?
Well, thank you.
All right.
No.
Chat, vote on that one. Vote on that. All right. Check the chat, bro. Bruce, you're live. And then over to Michael again.
Sorry, I was muted. My quick question is on the Chiefs offense. Where would you rank Kelsey this year as a tight end?
What did he finish, like 5 last year? It was like surprisingly. It was a lot of injuries last year, though. I'd say like 10. 10, 11, 12. I just can't take him any higher than that, bro. I just can't.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Could he deliver better than 10 or 11? Sure. But I don't think I think in best ball he'd be better than in non-best ball.
okay. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just wondering on.
All right, on the clock here in a second, boys. Hold on. Roman Doomsday Band. What do we do? Okay, Lamar Jackson's here. You know who I like better than that, but what I'm thinking, let's see what this guy does right here. If he didn't take, so do I take Tootin here? I kind of have to. And then I run the risk of him taking May, but then I have Lamar. I mean, he could bully QB, but this is worth the risk. Lamar's ranked higher. Pure pressure. He probably looks at Lamar here more than May. Most people hate Drake May. So I'm going to take the gamble. There it is. And BTJ's there if I want that too, but I'm going to go ahead and take Drake May. And JD5 was available, so worst case scenario. This is a good looking squad. So passing on Josh Allen was worth it in the end for me, because May would have been here and I would have been pissed. I would have been like, damn it, I got to go bully QB. And I don't always like putting myself in that position. If I take Josh Allen early, there's about an 80% chance I bully QB, because I can't resist Drake May every time he's there. But this is Josh Allen done. Luis isn't wording it properly when he says that. He just means done as the top quarterback he's trying to say. I don't think Luis actually thinks Josh Allen's done. Drake May, Tootin, Evans, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Genty, very, very strong looking squad here. I do say so myself. What else you got here, Michael? What are you thinking on this squad? It's a good looking team.
Yeah, good looking team. Since I've been drafting a lot more, usually I agree with you about the early QB. I like taking Allen in 3. But just to be honest, I do like the mid QB better this year so far, just because I think the margins are going to be closer. I think Burrow is going to be really good. We were talking about that earlier. You're getting May in round 6, like you said. Lamar Jackson's there. It just feels like, I won't fault anyone for taking Josh Allen, but I think efficiency-wise, this year might be the year for.
It's so weird
that
here. Drake May's mid QB. Like he was going in the 3rd round.
That's what I'm saying.
He was going in the 3rd round. This is stupid. Josh Allen's the best pick in fantasy. Period. There's no better pick in fantasy.
But see, that's what I wanted to. So that's what I wanted to talk about, though. And I'm not really disagreeing. But even last year for me, right? And this is kind of related, but not completely. Without getting into the details, I essentially pivoted from Trevor Lawrence and Dynasty to Josh Allen. Obviously, it's a good move, but down the stretch, Trevor Lawrence was better last year than Josh Allen. So that's why I kind of think this year I want to go with Drake May, Lamar, Burrow, JD5 in that range, that you're in right now, just because I'd rather pick a wide receiver or a running back in round 3. I don't know.
Louis,
I know you don't feel the same completely. But.
No, I'm just taking the best player available. Bruce, call back if you have something else, Bruce. Louis, stop, bro. Stop. I was trying to defend you. Now you're taking back my defense. You're saying that he is done. Josh Allen is done. Stop it, bro. It's nonsense. It's one thing to be like he's done as the top guy. Drake May's in town. You're hyping him up and you're pumped up. I get it, but like, stop talking about Josh Allen being done. That's ridiculous. He's a number 1. Him and May are dead even. The only reason May's a better pick is because they're neck and neck. Is because May goes in at 5. What is it? 6.2. 6.2. Drake May went at 6.2. Josh Allen goes, and he went late in this draft. 41 was crazy late, but that's the only reason Drake May's better. They're equals, but the cost of entry is crazy. But to say Josh Allen's done, what in the hell are you even talking about? What in the hell are you even talking about, Luis? Doesn't even make sense. Hammer, you still here? Shelly, you still here over on Rumble? Got my Rumblers over there. Appreciate you guys a ton. Josh Allen wins leagues in round 4. Just flat out wins leagues. And that's why it was so tempting to take him. But, man, I like this squad. The squad looking good. Got Tucker Kraft there if I want. I don't have a tight end yet, right? Yep. I mix up my draft sometimes. I'm like, okay, what's my team again? Tucker Kraft is there. Harvey just got taken, so that makes Kraft a pretty crafty, no pun intended, pick right here. I think I got to take him. So Kraft is my tight end. 1, May, my QB. 1, Tootin and Genty, my running back 1 and 2. My wide receiver 1, 2, and 3 are A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, and Mike Evans. And my flex, or if I draft a backup here, is this next pick. Blake Corum's there. Patrick Mahomes is there. Kyle Monangai is there. Usually Monangai's money for me right at this spot. Jonathan Brooks won't last to my next pick, so if I did want to take him early, I'd have to go here. I like Corum a lot. But I think I'm going to go Kyle Monangai because he's the most likely, in my opinion, to get like 1,000 yards and like 7 to 8 touchdowns at any one of the wide receiver or running back positions. He's the most likely to do that. Hammer dropping. Is that another $20 super chat from Hammer? I think that's a brand new one. Hammer time. One more time. Hammer time.
It's hammer time.
I do have to say, Hammer, you probably have the coolest like video that plays. It's got a Viking horn. It interrupts the entire show. It's kind of long. Few players that can single-handedly win you weeks: Allen, Gibbs, Jamar Chase. That truly, and I believe Drake May will be in that conversation this year too. But yes, Allen, Gibbs, and Chase. Imagine having all three in like a dynasty league. Waddle over Wilson. Waddle over Wilson over Garrett Wilson. Drew, you talking to me? Like, Drew, I don't know what's closer. You being off by saying Waddle over Wilson, and you're talking about Michael Wilson, and I'm like, they're a little far apart. Or Waddle over Wilson, Garrett Wilson, and we're talking about being far apart the other direction. No thanks, bro. Waddle's climbing way too high right here at 43 overall. He's starting to become one of those players that we start lumping together as some of the worst pick. Right now, the worst pick in fantasy is Devontae Smith. Not because he's a bad player, but because his pick, he's just going too high. By the way, Michael from San Diego, he's going at 24 and 23 more than he's going at 25 now. So we'll see if that ADP updates. Then you'll be out. No. Really? The last two drafts we've done, he was 23, went 23 and 24, and then I think he went 22 in one of the other drafts that we did. So you're out on him.
I gotta change my take so people regress on it, I guess.
He's out. He's out at 24. He's locked into 24, bro.
I mean, we're in La La Land right now. I didn't think we'd get here. So, yeah.
Monty is also one of the worst picks in fantasy there. He goes at the 4.12, 4.11, 4.10, sometimes 3.10. I've seen him go. But Waddle's definitely climbing way, way too high because Sutton is still there. I don't know what makes people think that Sutton's inabilities to deliver as consistently as Sutton owners would have wanted the last couple of years have anything to do with his value or his abilities. It's been the offense. It's been the design, the play calls. It's been Bo Nix playing a lot like Caleb, where they don't do anything until the fourth quarter, and that's something that Nix has to remedy, just like Caleb. I'm hard on Bo Nix as well. Bo Nix has been QB7 and QB9 though in back-to-back years. Bo Nix has delivered, but he definitely. Oh God, Jonathan Brooks fell. This guy, is he gonna go Jonathan Brooks or Wilson? I gotta pick one. I think I'd rather have Jonathan Brooks than Wilson. I like Wilson, but that's okay if he takes Wilson. He might not because he took 4 straight wide receivers. Okay, good. I'm making all the right calls with this guy down at the end. He's not I'm leaving him the wrong players. And okay, so Michael Wilson. I like Wandell a little bit here too, though. I'll go Michael Wilson. He's a very good wide receiver 4. Yeah, Sutton is very undervalued. You're in or you're out, says Hammer on Josh Allen. I can't believe Luis is saying Josh Allen's done. Luis, it's almost like saying something like Stafford's done. That, you can be like, okay. Or somebody said, trying to think of another player that makes sense. Like, let's say, like even Cam Scatterboo, because there's like risk of everything. Like Cam Scatterboo's done. It's like you kind of go, you might disagree or agree, but you're like, okay. But saying Josh Allen's done is kind of like, oh, he's cute. Look at the little guy. He's trying to play fantasy football. Like, come on, Luis.
Well, I think he was saying that he's done in terms of the division, like dominating the AFC
but then I said that. Then he said no, he's done. And so I don't know if he's like.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
I don't know, Luis. What are you trying to say? What rank is? Give us a rank for Josh Allen instead of just keep saying he's done. Is a ridiculous statement in its own. Like if you want to say like this is Drake May's division now, and you're making Drake May statements, but when you keep saying Josh Allen's done, there's nothing else someone can conclude, but that you're saying something wild. So like
he's not saying that. Luis is a ball knower.
Well,
he's not saying that.
Well. Luis, let's hear. Where's Josh Allen rank? QB what? In fantasy, Luis, fantasy football 2026, what QB is he finishing as? QB what? QB what? Look at the little guy. Oh, he's cute. He's trying. He's done dominating the AFC East. I said what I said, and it's Pat's time. Okay, very, very biased take for sure. But what rank is Josh Allen in fantasy? Because this is the fantasy football show, and you're in the comments saying Josh Allen's done. So we're just trying to get a feel for what we're talking about here. Love the Jalen Coker value here. I only have one QB. Tyler Shuck is there. Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all, I might say. Malik Willis is a running quarterback. I love the value. Go Jalen Coker. And I don't want to be stuck without another quarterback. I'm either going to go Malik Willis or Cam Ward here. A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans. Brock Purdy's gone, right? Yeah. Just checking. All right, let's go. Malik's going to do well. He scrambles. I mean, it's pretty hard not to be a top 10 quarterback in fantasy. Or close to it when you run as much as he does. Well, Luis, what is his finish? Fantasy football QB what? Don't think they'll ever be able to get Josh Allen, a young dominant wide receiver, because I don't know why I like DJ Moore a lot, but I think DJ Moore definitely isn't going to give him longevity. So it's like, why even? I do like him. I do think DJ Moore is a good player. I still think he can do well for 1.5 years. I won't even say 2 years, but I'll say like 1.5, but for sure 1. I think people calling him done it's wild. That's just a wild take.
Why do you think just 1 though? Considering we're starting to see like older players that are pretty good,
just
like
my guarantee.
Adams, Mike Evans.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying like where I'm willing to. It's like a weather forecast. Like, could it rain all week? Yeah, but I know it's going to rain tomorrow and today and tomorrow. But I'm just not sure. I'm certainly open to it. I'm just saying, give me 1.5 years floor.
I mean, who do you take in Dynasty, I guess, if you have to keep one, him or Terry McLaurin going forward? I know Terry's going ahead and redraft, but
How much older is McLaurin?
like a year, if that.
McLaurin getting banged up last year is kind of like left a bad taste in most people's mouths. Like they're definitely feeling like, oh man, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean. I don't know. That's a tough question. I think it's pretty even. Let me look at how far apart they are exactly in age. Terry McLaurin. Actually, let's see if we can get Kruger to help on this one, so I don't have to do any heavy lifting. But he might be wrong on it. He always is. Kruger, how much older is the Washington Commander wide receiver Terry McLaurin over DJ Moore, the Buffalo Bill wide receiver? How many years or months is McLaurin older than DJ Moore?
Like a year and a half.
Terry was a year and a half older than DJ Moore. McLaurin was born September 15th, 1995, or on April 14th, 1997. That puts the gap at roughly 19 months.
That's a lot of time. Yeah, I guess give me DJ Moore. Give me DJ Moore. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. That's a lot
of time. I mean, as much as I like JD5, I feel like Josh Allen still has more upside to produce. I mean, my thing with DJ Moore is we saw him do it with Justin Fields. I know that was a couple years ago, but him as the main guy, and I think that's what he's going to be in Buffalo. I mean, I think best case scenario, he could be a low-end wide receiver one. I don't think that's crazy to say.
This next pick, man, ADP. What do I do here? Hold on. Let me see where the I'm going to count ADP slots. By the time I get back to my next pick, it's 179. I don't think I'll be able to grab... Okay, Jonah Coleman just got drafted, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go Antonio Williams here, which is great because I have let's see here. Sorry. I'm going to go, he won't make it back to my next pick. I'm going to go Stribling here and cuff him to Mike Evans. So I like that. That feels good. Now I have Antonio Brown, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans. I have Wilson, Michael Wilson, Coker, Antonio Williams, and Stribling. Pretty good wide receiver. I think I can quit drafting wide receivers now. I got Drake May and Malik Willis. I think I'll look at another quarterback, but I may or may not take one. I've got 4 picks left. I need an RB. I need a backup tight end, and then I have 1 extra spot, I think. Yeah, so we'll be good. I just need to stop drafting receivers now. But Stribling and Mike Evans is a pretty good combo. And let me see my bye weeks real quickly. For running back, I'm golden. Don't have a single player with the same bye week. And I have only 4 guys. Genti, Bashal, Tootin, Kyle Monangai, and Jonathan Brooks. My wide receivers, I'm totally fine. I've got A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, none of which have the same bye week. Michael Wilson, another different bye week than those guys. Jalen Coker, different bye week than all of those guys. Antonio Williams, another bye week different to all those guys. Wow, I only have just my last pick, Stribling, obviously, with Mike Evans. This is the only 2 players in my entire wide receiver room that share the same bye week. That's crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight wide receivers without the same bye week. That's pretty crazy. I like that. I was cognizant of a couple of those picks, but not the whole thing. Who else is on the phone line? Just Michael? Dial in if anybody wants to.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Let me see if I got two super. Oh, damn it. Coach said Taylor, Genty. Oh, I already did that. Coach, you still there? I think this is the other super chat that I didn't get to of yours yet. Why is Waddle's ADP higher than Sutton's? Is that where that debate started? And I didn't even know it. Coach, you still there? It's higher because they're paying him. They traded for him. They're talking him up like crazy. You know that he's going to have an elite season. Oh, you just sent it? Okay. But I agree that it's more complex than that, and I think people are not seeing it the way that it really is, which is it could be a cannibalization of sorts. Or they just rotate in a nice way where they're both producing pretty well. But whenever people say things like, you know, Sutton's done or he can't be better, or it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because this is a guy that, let's see here. Hey, Kruger, what was Cortland Sutton's stat line, receptions, yardage, and touchdowns in 2025 last season?
Cortland Sutton had 64 receptions for 1,017 yards and 7 touchdowns in the 2025 season. He played all 17 games for the Broncos.
Does that not sound like a bigger number than you expected?
Yeah, it does.
Not you, Kruger. Like, doesn't that seem like a number you wouldn't have thought he had? Like, how in the hell are people acting like he had such a bad year? 74 receptions, 117 yards, and 7 touchdowns. That's a pretty good year, given that Knicks didn't play ball till the fourth quarter. And now Davis Webb's calling plays. Who's to say he doesn't go to 10 touchdowns, 1050, 79 receptions, and Jalen Waddle gets 75, 78, 81, maybe he gets 1090 and 6 or 7 touchdowns. Why can't this guy be the wide receiver 1? Someone tell me what makes Waddle so special other than he's quick. What has he done? Sutton's been doing it. I don't understand what the hell people are talking about. Oh, I think I timed out. Who did I time out on? What running back? And I think he was in my queue. Or Emmett Johnson? Okay. Damn it. I blanked out on who I have. Genty, I need Mike Washington. Probably. Let's go Mike Washington. I didn't mean to time out on Emmett Johnson, though, but that's okay. I'll take, I could potentially just take one extra, or no, I have 2 picks left after this, so I could just go double tight end and then go with the 2 quarterbacks. I think that's what I'll do. So Mike Washington, that helps protect my Genty, and then I'm good. Brooks, Monungai, I'll be all right at running back. That's a good looking crew there. But yeah, you want to call in and debate. You want to call in, not you, Coach, but Coach, you can call in too. But you want to call in and debate Waddle versus Sutton and act like it's a boneheaded call to suggest that Sutton could outscore Waddle. Not that it's a guarantee, not that you should expect it, but that it's very much in the realm of possibility. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think, Michael? I mean, Sutton versus Waddle. Like, why is Waddle so special? Tell me.
I was gonna say, so I'm historically not a Waddle guy because he picks up a lot of knick-knack injuries, and I just don't really like the player. But Sutton is about to turn 31 years old, and I mean Waddle's 27. They, like you said, they paid him a big contract to come in and be a game breaker for Bo Nix. I think it's fair to say he's going to outproduce Sutton. Now, you saying not by that much is fair. I can't really argue that. But I think by at least a decent amount. I don't think it's going to be 50-50. I'd say 65-35 Waddle in terms of production, like a ratio.
Bro, I don't even know.
But my thing is, can he stay healthy? My thing is, can he stay healthy? I can't really like.
But what makes you say that when Cortland Sutton just dropped 1,007?
I guess really just age. He's a year older. He's not really that explosive anymore. But you could make an argument, and this is why I'm not hard pressed on defending Waddle. You could make an argument Waddle being there opens things up for him more. So
Yeah,
I don't think it's a crazy argument.
Here's their last 3 years, by the way. Portland Sutton on the left. Jalen Waddle on the top right. And I've included more years.
Yes, Travis.
So you're talking about 1,015, 1,356, and 8. That was a good year. Then 10, 14, and 4. This man hasn't had 1,000 yards, and he barely did. Not that Sutton, exploded past it last year either, but he barely did that year. And then he had 744, then he had 910. I understand his situation wasn't ideal, but he's walking into a situation where Sutton, has been dominating for a while and is very comfortable with Bo Nix and in this offense. And he's a touchdown guy, 10, 8, 7. I don't see how none of this, except for this 1356 and 8, which is 4 years ago, none of this makes me feel like either one's going to blow the other one out of the water. I feel like they're dead even. I feel like you're going to get a very similar line from both of them.
Sorry. My biggest sell for Waddle is that Tua pretty much made it impossible for him to thrive his last few years there. And so going from Tua to Bo Nix with Sean Payton, especially, who says he's not a baby Michael Thomas, Not anything close to what he did in 2019, but just Michael Thomas light in a way. Who says he can't do it? That's my glass half full.
I'm not sold on it at all. Man, I'm going to time out. Oh, and I don't even like Njoku. I mean, he's all right. Tucker Kraft. Gesicki's okay. These are just horrible. I guess Tungus maybe. Nope. I guess I'll go Tungus. Okay. It's so crazy that people think that this is like one's going to blow the other out of the water. I'd just rather have Sutton at his cost of entry because I think they're going to score about the same amount of points. Hey, Smitty, when you're not picking, can you throw up on screen this year's Moon Men, Saturn, Jupiter, Spacemen, Astronauts? Thomas, we aren't doing that anymore. Just kidding. Yes, here it is.
The Jupiter Men. Jupiter is so large.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man. He's on a shuttle to Mars.
I don't know what we're doing with that.
The Moon Men.
I'm not removing JJ from the Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn board, but go watch today's video. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit skeptical of the situation, if you will. Let's go, Smitty. What a draft. Genty to the moon. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate you. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck, for the super chat. Chuck, you still here? I appreciate you. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Chuck, Genty to the moon. Coach, thank you for the doubles. Viral, appreciate you. Hammer, thanks for the doubles over on the Rumbleville. Dropping the $20 back-to-backs. Hammer, you're still coming. You're coming next year to Arizona for the meetup, right? You got to, bro. You got to. What was your? I forget, Michael. You called in earlier. What was your take on JJ?
On Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, like at his ADP, which is like right around 8, 9. Are you feeling like the whole? They're not giving Kyler.
It won't happen this year.
They're not giving Kyler
100%.
the full. I don't know. I'm starting to get.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, why bring him in if this is what?
I don't know. That's what makes me worry that they don't know what they're doing. And you could say, oh, but they did for. Yeah, well, you know what? Bill Belichick once knew how to coach. And that fell apart, and it happens, man. Sometimes the game will pass by.
Is it just the investment? Do you think it's just stubbornness? Like, hey, we took this guy in the first round. We have to,
I'm not saying that the Viking staff is cooked, okay, but I can't get anybody to answer this question. My question is, how do they think the way they're thinking now? And how did they not try and get JJ the ball in other ways last year, like wide back style at the line of scrimmage? Why didn't they why did JJ go literally games without really anything, stretches of games? That it makes me like, no one can answer that question. It feels like it's borderline incompetence. So
your best point to me on that was the fact that Kyler Murray isn't really a playbook darling either, and not one to take that serious. And so you add that to it as well, you're just holding him back and shooting yourself in the foot.
The other thing,
he's gonna start.
The other thing
he's
too,
still gonna start. But why are we playing?
The other thing too is they have no investment in him, none. They got the league minimum. He's getting paid $36 million a year by the Arizona Cardinals, or this year, to play for the Vikings. But the Cardinals are paying that. That money has nothing to do with the Vikings. The Vikings don't look at
advantage of that.
The Vikings don't. Well, it's hard to though, because that contract's horrible, because then the team can't offer Kyler anything long term. You know, because if you're getting paid $35+ million by another team, the team you're going to play for, they can't give you $1 over the league minimum, because if they do, they're just paying what the Cardinals are supposed to be paying. Meaning, like, if Kyler's getting 30, let's keep the math simple. AZ's paying him $35 million this year in 2026. Kyler from Minnesota, they're going to give him the league minimum. Let's just throw this at $2 million. Every $1 million they give him more just comes off this 34 or this 35. So if they decide to give him, let's say let me go back. Let me just rock out. Just mute yourself, please, real quickly. Let's go back to 35 and just use 2. If they decide to pay him $10 million per year, then this goes from 35 to 27 or whatever it is. So that's all you're doing. You're just saying, hey, can we front the bill for the Arizona Cardinals? So that means that the Minnesota Vikings are only giving him the roughly whatever million something league minimum, and that's all they're going to pay him. There's no incentive. It's a 1-year deal. It's the league minimum. There's no investment. He's not getting paid $35 million in their eyes. And so it's just like a stupid contract. It's just a stupid contract.
Well, what I don't understand though is wouldn't you take advantage of the fact that you're not paying him anything? You're getting a former first overall pick who's had success in the league, and your coach is supposed to be a guru.
Yeah, but when you give him a no tag clause, which is a stupid move by the Minnesota Vikings.
Well,
now you're almost ensuring you don't keep him. They'd have to line up. You have to thread the needle, I think is what Travis said the other day, on that contract, or on that situation, in order to get him back. Like, to get him back, it's got to be the right amount of playing well and not too much of playing well, in order for him to return on a deal that the Vikings can afford and want to pay, and a deal that makes Kyler return and not go get a bigger bag, because usually you're getting a bigger bag when you go elsewhere. They can't franchise tag him. It's just, this is just not the greatest situation in general. Not to mention, when you're thinking like that, what's going through your mind when you're like, okay, now if you're the Vikings, I'm not saying this is right. I'm just telling you what the Vikings are going to do. The Vikings are going to sit there and do what? They're going to say, we're losing. We're not winning. We're 2-5, whatever, 2-6. And we got Kyler starting for us. We don't really know who McCarthy is yet. We know he's probably not our guy, but don't you think we should find out before we get to the draft? And if he's not, then we'll get a better pick if we're finding out and he sucks. And we better find out what McCarthy, we better know exactly what we want to do. And they won't necessarily feel that way riding the Kyler train if they're losing. So the Vikings have to win in order for Kyler to stay in the lineup all year. So it's a little more complicated than we really initially looked at. And I say that because they aren't buying into Kyler. So my confidence level of Kyler staying in the lineup all year and playing well and taking the Vikings maybe into a playoff, first round and one and done situation is now, my confidence in that is dwindling, because they're not setting up Kyler properly. It's like he's got to pass the SAT, but you're not letting him study. So then how am I going to have faith that he's going to pass it? That's what this looks like to me now. It's not that I misjudged anything. It's that we're adjusting and adapting. And I think that the odds of seeing a repetition of JJ not being utilized properly is that repetition is not necessarily over. That repeated sequence of events is still ongoing. And then what happens with JJ's demanding a trade? Like, where is he playing? Joe Burrow's going to want him. You know, I highly doubt that Joe Burrow wants to go to Minnesota. That would have to fall through in Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's going to ball the hell out. Then they're not going to necessarily need him. Would they do it? Could they do a trade still? Is it possible T. Higgins and JJ with a whole bunch of compensation gets slung back and forth? Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, to me, that's why they should be all in on Kyler. It doesn't make sense to me because, okay, you get him in for nothing. You should be, hey, we want to do everything we can to make sure this guy succeeds so we have a plan long term and we don't have to blow it up and start over.
Yeah, but let me ask you again. Let's say they do that. And Hammer, let me grab your question that you're asking, and I'll put it on screen and read it in a second. Your follow-up question. Thank you, Hammer. My question is this: let's say you're right. They go all in on Kyler, which they're not. But let's say even they still do, right? Let's say they battle for a little bit, and then let's say a month from now, we're told Kyler's the starter. It's no longer okay. Good, we settle in on that, right? And they go all in. What happens if they're 2-6? What happens if they're 2-7? Are they still going to stay all in on Kyler?
No, of course not.
Okay, so
I agree with you. They have to win. They have to win, but that's what I'm saying is it doesn't make sense to me why they're even having a QB battle right now.
I know.
Because you should, meaning being all in on Kyler means he comes in, he's the starter, and we're not going to play around.
It's telegraphing to us that they don't know what they're doing, I think. Follow up on that comment regarding Allen. Who is asking to do more for their team than Josh Allen? Who is asked to do more for their team than Josh Allen? And who's asking to do more? Both. Who is asked to do more, and who is asking the question, can I do more? Can I wear more pieces of flair? This is what Josh Allen does. Josh Allen puts the team on his back. I don't know if people know this, but Josh Allen said he hates running. Hates it. He doesn't I don't like it. He hates running the ball, he says. I hate it. So he's doing what he doesn't want to do. On the regular, 15, 14 times he's punching in a touchdown, and he hates every bit of it. That's a guy that wears extra pieces of flair on his vest and his uniform at Applebee's. You know, Flair has got, if you haven't seen the movie Office Space, it's wearing flair is when you put the little, shiny little buttons and stuff on. It's flair. You're flaring up your vest. You're at Applebee's as you're serving. And if you don't want to wear more flair than the required amount, then you're a slacker. You're a real slacker. Rock out, you're live, and then I'm gonna hit the countdown here. And then we'll be potentially out of here, potentially not. Go ahead, rock out. You are live, young man. Do your thing.
So if JJ has another year like last year, how likely you think he'll ask for a trade?
If JJ,
I know it's hard because he has a big contract.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think that let me put this timer up. Hold on one second. I think if JJ gets treated like he got treated last year, he's 1,000% requesting a trade. Or if, let's say, the Bengals screw up for Joe Burrow, which I don't think this will happen. I think the Bengals will play well. Even if they lose, let's say, in the second round or something, I still think Burrow's excited about what they've done. But let's just say things collapsed, then could there be some sort of Burrow to Minnesota rumors or whatever? But for the most part, Burrow and the boys will do well. Even if they lose in the playoffs, they'll be excited about what they're building. JJ's going to want to get over there. Like I said, I wonder if there could be some draft capital T. Higgins swap. But, I mean, who knows? Because the Vikings, if the Vikings don't... JJ's getting older. And if the Vikings aren't ready to win, they do have to consider the draft capital and compensation and the what it takes to rebuild and retool and to get your receiver lined up with your quarterback. Because if you bring in a rookie and the Vikings get to draft, and they're fortunate enough to draft one of the top 3 quarterbacks, they're going to, in their mind, say year 3. is when things are really cooking and we're investing in that mentality. What will JJ be then? So that's why he could potentially be traded. And, just the same thing with Burrow. Had they not gotten all in like they did this offseason, let's say they were just dragging their feet again. There is a world where that team is also saying, we're not winning with Burrow. We're going to move on because this just isn't working. But I don't think that's the case again. I think it's all good in the hood in Cincinnati. But I think there's a real chance he's demanding a trade. Now, does he get one pulled off? I don't know. I think so. I think if he gets mistreated badly, he'll be on the move. But
what is he worth? Like 3 first rounders or something like that?
I don't know. I don't think you're getting that.
Or 2.
I don't know. Let's ask Kruger what he thinks. But let me do this, and I'll go over to Hammer real quickly. Let's ask Kruger one time.
Okay.
Kruger, what is the likely draft capital compensation that the Vikings would get for Justin Jefferson next offseason? How many first rounders? 1? 1 and a second? Would it be 2? Would it possibly be 2 first rounders, Kruger?
One first rounder is the floor from a player like Jefferson. 2 firsts is the realistic range. He's a top-tier wideout on a deal through 2028 with big guarantees. So any trade next offseason would command premium compensation. Think the Sauce Gardner or Max Crosby deals that netted 2 firsts. A second rounder could sweeten it if the acquiring team wants to push the price higher.
Yeah. Okay. 2 first. I like that. I'd pay 2 first rounders for JJ if I had the team capable of winning. You know who's going to say we should get him? I give you one guess. You only need 1, or 2 guesses. You only need 1. Who's going to say we'll get him?
The Raiders.
No, the Niner fans. They're like, why don't we just get him? Why don't we just get JJ? Why don't we get Aaron Rodgers? I love when the Niner fans thought they're going to get Aaron Rodgers to be their backup. They're like, what if we just get him a backup? What if we just get him the backup Purdy? These Niner fans are so delusional about what a player is willing to do. Blackbeard knows what I'm talking about. He sees it in the comments. All right, Hammer, you're live.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Something.
Yeah. What's going on, young man? No, just kind of 2 things I wanted to. You were talking about Sutton and Waddle. I'm still kind of puzzled as to. I think he had like 1 year, but I mean, has Waddle been a wide receiver too? I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was with Mike McDaniel, and I don't really think he really accomplished much.
Yeah, the excuse people have for being in with Tua when Mike McDaniel's his play caller is piss poor excuse. I'll agree. And these lines are exactly the same practically. Like, this is the same wide receiver. They're going to bleed into each other. They're going to score the same amount, I think. They're just going to cannibalize each other in a way that Sutton's still worth his ADP and Waddle isn't. I agree.
But yeah, I understand it was a trade, and a first round pick was involved. I guess I don't see where Waddle, warrants that amount. I mean, clearly Denver sees it, so who am I to say? But I mean, I haven't seen that he's worth that. But again, I might be missing something on him. But I thought but back to Josh Allen, if anything, I think he's actually going to have a better year. He's only had a tight end to throw to for the past, however many years. And you do get DJ Moore in. So I don't physically see how Josh Allen's going to be declining. It just doesn't make sense to me logically.
No one else sees it either. It's just Luis. but we got Mike is dropping an extender, so let's hit that button. Mike, appreciate
that. The show has just been extended 5 minutes.
That puts us at 11.
$20 super chat.
45. Thank you very much. And Hammer, 100% agree with you on both takes, obviously on the Josh Allen take. The one thing about Sutton real quickly, again, I'm not trying to suggest that Waddle's bad. I'm not trying to suggest that Sutton's going to be a wide receiver, elite fantasy football wide receiver 1 in fantasy. I'm merely saying I don't know that much changes for Sutton in his numbers. And therefore, that will keep Waddle. In fact, let me put it this way. Do I think Waddle has more catches? Yes. Do I think Sutton has more touchdowns than Waddle? Yes. Do I think they have the same exact yardage, or Waddle even has slightly less yards than Sutton, or Sutton is slightly less? Like, yeah, that's what I see. One of them at like 950, the other at like 1090. But this man has the rapport with Bo Nix. This guy's a speedster that's going to stretch the defense. We don't know how Davis Webb's going to coach or play call. I think it's going to be good for everybody involved. They're going to run the ball more. Best offensive line maybe in the league. This is going to be a very, very solid rushing attack. And the fact that these two gentlemen are trying to coexist together is just going to hold them both back from becoming any sort of 13, 14 touchdown, 1,1300 yard receiver. They're both going to linger around 1,000. They're both going to linger around 6 to 7 touchdowns. They're both going to linger around 70 to 83, 85 receptions. And one's not going to tower over the other. He's an electric player. And let me make this point abundantly clear. This is a great move. The Broncos made an amazing trade football-wise. This guy's going to make Bo Nix so much. Bo Nix was QB9, QB7. He could be QB6 this year. And the Denver Broncos on paper might be the best team in football. You might disagree with that. One or two teams you could have over. That's fine. I'm not trying to necessarily put a hardline stance on that. But just to say that the Denver Broncos made an amazing trade. An amazing trade. And that's going to show on the field. But it doesn't make Waddle a wide receiver 1 or worth his weight in ADP when we're talking about it being, something that takes away your what ADP, what was his pick was what in the 4th round? That's just it's not worth it. He's not worth a 4.2, 4.4, 4.5. Thanks again, Mike, for that extender. Hammer, let me go to Hammer real quick, then back over to Mike. What?
Yeah, check Rumble real quick.
Oh, Hammer dropping another extender. Look at this.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
That's been asked to do more than Josh Allen.
Beautiful.
Matthew Stafford's not on the Rams. They're not doing anything, even with that roster. I mean, what Matthew Stafford is asked to do. I can't think of anyone else really in the NFL that's on that
Lamar
level.
Jackson, maybe? You don't think Lamar?
What's the question? To do what?
But I mean,
asked to do
Lamar's
as much as Josh Allen.
Oh, asked to do.
Lamar's had a defense up until really last year. I mean, he's had a run game.
Their secondary's been pretty bad.
It's a fair thing to call Lamar as one of the other players, but I'd say I agree that Josh Allen has single-handedly led the NFL in doing the most for his team. Christian McCaffrey's up there as well, obviously, but he has more support. So I think dialing into the essence of the question or what you're trying to, I guess, insinuate with it is different depending on your angle. But like Christian McCaffrey took on the workload, Josh Allen took on the workload. Lamar is consistently being leaned on. But I do agree with Hammer that there's one team that comes to mind that keeps winning and keeps dominating and hangs with people and has a chance to be a Super Bowl champion each year that doesn't even have close to as amount of talent as all the other teams that are getting there. Look at Derrick Henry. I know James Cook has been playing like that, but is James Cook really as good as Derrick Henry, or is he just getting so much volume? I think James Cook is a good player, but Josh Allen doesn't have the same weapons. You've got Flowers, you've got Andrews, you've got Derrick Henry, you've got a defense. You go over to San Francisco, there's weapons all around. Josh Allen, if you talk about who's dragging their team along, I think Josh Allen does fit the bill for being the number 1 player in the league that's doing the most with the least amount of talent on the roster overall.
I agree with that. I was more so saying Lamar over Stafford. I agree with Josh Allen. No counter there.
Yeah, I guess if we're trying to talk bare bones, yes, I would agree with that. But Stafford is definitely. I think what Hammer is alluding to too is that what team falls apart the most if the player leaves. Like if Christian McCaffrey's off the
valuable
roster,
player to their team.
Yeah, if Christian McCaffrey got hurt,
You make the same case in Baltimore.
Black and Jordan James might kind of deliver. I'm not saying it's the same, but it's the system, it's the offense. If Lamar goes, I mean, you can almost say about any quarterback. Lamar goes down, done. If Joe Burrow goes down, done. If Josh Allen goes down, done. So hard to say it with a quarter, but I will say, I think Josh Allen is the number one player in the league for carrying his team for sure. Why didn't this timer go? His timer keeps sticking. It's at 14:40.
I mean, just another side. I mean, he's hurt, but like even Burrow. I mean, he has weapons clearly, but again, to have to put up 40 points a game and just to be competitive. I mean, shit. I mean, how much more does he have to do?
Yeah. All right. So Hammer, while we're on the topic, and let me see real quickly, the topic of what was the other one we were talking about earlier? Damn it. Oh, JJ.
The Vikings?
What is your take on that, Hammer? I haven't really heard your take on this whole Kyler Murray, JJ McCarthy still battling it out nonsense.
I think it's just incompetence, unfortunately. I mean, JJ McCarthy, that might have been the worst quarterback performance I've seen in my lifetime watching him play. And Kyler Murray, like, I mean, don't get it wrong. I mean, yeah, all the talent in the world, but I feel like the guy just quite really doesn't care. I mean, there's really not much. Watch him when he's out there. There's like doesn't seem like he's in tune. He's kind of just like going through the motions. And I mean, when was the last time he played and was successful? I mean, I mean, he had a few good seasons. I'm not going to take that away from him, but how long ago was that?
Who do you trust less? Luis with Devontae Smith on the board at 3.1 or J9 throwing to JJ?
Ooh. That's it's scary. Give me, I'll bet on Jettas, so I'll go with that idiot JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy. Look, I guess the way I would look at this, D Parlay wants to know if it's live. No, this is pre-recorded, D. If Kyler is given the keys and he's supported and they groom him, I think JJ's would have a good year. And that's what our stance has been all off season. But at this moment in time, with the fact what can change? Smitty, what can change between now and the next handful of weeks, let's say? It's got to be quick. It has to be a turnaround. Remember the Cardinals said, we're not going to know who's our starting quarterback until August. And then like 2 weeks later, they came out with Brissett's our starter, which is just like, that's incompetence, right? You know, to be like sending out these mixed signals. It's ridiculous. Like why would you say that and the next minute come out and say, Brissett's our starter? It makes you look like you're incompetent. It makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. It makes you look like you're feeding people lies. So I'm already thinking the Cardinal staff is concerning in itself. And the fact that they hired Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator is just stupidity. So LaFleur and the Cardinals are already off on the wrong foot with me. I think Love's still great. I think Love's still going to be a beast. But I have my concerns about the same concerns I have about Kyler staying in the lineup all year I have about Brissett, because the Cardinals are going to want to know what Beck can do. Same concept. If the Vikings and Cardinals are both 2-7, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to say to themselves, and the Vikings might already know. They clearly don't, though, because they're putting Kyler and J9 through a competition right now. So they still wonder. There's still some wonderment here. What do you think is going to happen if they're 2-7 and nothing's working? They're going to look and say, well, should we give 9 one more go to make sure that we know what to do when draft day comes? What are the Cardinals going to do if they're 2-7? They're going to look at Beck, whether we agree with it or not, and say, we got to find out what he is. And maybe we even get a better record doing it. And then go into the draft and we know that we're not passing on an opportunity of keeping, getting Beck in there. So that's the risk you run with bad teams. That's why I consistently say draft players on good teams. And that's why I'm saying now, as much as I love JJ, I'm not drafting him over Hampton anymore. I just can't do it. And honestly, to be completely honest, if a draft is over, I'm not drafting anymore. The draft is over. Is there a chance if someone offered me Brock Bowers in a trade later? I wouldn't draft it, but later take Bowers over JJ. I think in any format, you would strongly have to consider that, if not hit the button. Because you're talking about that's where JJ's value is now probably going. You just have to accept it. And if he falls to that turn, he's got to go deep into the turn for me to really be on board. I can't even take him at 13 right now. 12, 13. It's no different than where he's going right now. 10, 11, 12, 13. It's all the same. You know, that doesn't really move him. If you take JJ at 10 versus at 13, you're getting Hampton and JJ instead of JJ and Hampton. It's the same players. You're just switching JJ down to the second round. So JJ's got to go deep into like 2.5 or 6 before it actually starts looking different. Your team starts actually being different. Otherwise, you just draft in JJ and Hampton and JJ. Kenneth Walker and JJ, or, you know, you're taking Hampton and JJ. Like, it's the same thing. I'm worried, guys. I think I'm, I don't know if I'm officially out on JJ right now, but I'm starting to feel like I'm heading there. I hope that we hear news tomorrow, this weekend, that they're like, Kyler's our starter. And even then, I'm still a little bit concerned because of the way that they've gone about this. Shows me incompetence at the coaching staff level. I feel like the Vikings are showing incompetence.
Yeah, I mean, each day and week that goes by that they're not, you know, announcing it. I mean, you've already seen them, you know, kind of arguing the comments they're making. Like, for the betterment of the team, just name a starter. Like, that's just kind of how I see it. Like, by now, you should have kind of a read on it.
Michael from San Diego, would you rather have JJ or Bowers in a vacuum?
Bowers. I thought that was a brilliant take, because you can't draft it, but after the draft's over, you're not sending. You know, if you have Bowers, you're not sending him to Jefferson.
Which tells you what?
You're not.
Which tells you what? That Bowers is a draft day steal and JJ's not. The same thing with Josh Allen. If Josh Allen gets drafted at 4.2, I challenge any of you when the draft is over to try and acquire Josh Allen using your 2.12 drafted player. Using your 2.10, your 2.11, your late second round pick. Try and offer that player for Josh Allen. Now, everyone's teams are built by then, and it makes it harder to do a trade if you don't have a quarterback. But if, let's say, they had a decent backup, or you could send them a decent backup, try and get Josh Allen using your 2.1 or 3.1 or 3.2 player. You won't get it. What's that tell you? Josh Allen's a draft day steal. That's how you can really test the temperature of a player's true value, is when the draft's over. Who's making these trades? No one's trading Brock Bowers for JJ when the draft is concluded. Nobody. And that tells you Bowers is a better pick. I'm not saying take him in the first. I'm saying JJ needs to fall down past Bowers, or he's not a value anymore. That's right now. It could change. I'm admitting that, but right now that's how I feel. JJ Zombie says JJ was not the worst QB play ever, not even close. Look, Zombie, I'd like you to call in and tell me. I mean, yeah, maybe there's a quarterback that's gone in there that's played worse, but not from a level of they're the starter. They're in there week in and week out. They're getting shoved back out there. And the result of what it did for JJ, the best wide receiver in the league, that no one even views him that way anymore. People have forgotten how good JJ is, and they won't even acknowledge he's a top 3 wide receiver anymore. That's how bad McCarthy was. I think from that perspective, it is correct. It is the right label when you're talking about impact. The impact that JJ McCarthy had was maybe the worst impact we've seen from a starting quarterback in the National Football League. He destroyed the number 1 overall player. And we're talking about him not going even at 12, 13, 14. He destroyed him. And the staff did too, which has me worried, which is why I don't really like this situation almost no matter what. You know, it's incompetence. And when you start seeing incompetence being repeated, but in different ways, what's that tell you? Like the Vikings were incompetent in getting the ball to JJ in unique ways last year. They didn't get him the ball at the line of scrimmage. They didn't try and run any sort of wide back situation. They just didn't get him the ball. They just continued to not get him the ball. That's incompetence. Then you bring in Kyler instead of Mac Jones and making that trade happen, because the Niners would have done it. It's pretty evident the way that they talked. Kyle Shanahan went on record and said he's so happy someone didn't bring a strong enough offer because he would have lost Mac Jones. The Niners made it abundantly clear Mac Jones was available at the right price. Vikings are too cheap. They go and get a guy who's getting paid $35 million by someone else. That's like taking your girl out to dinner and letting somebody else pay the bill. The Vikings are how are you going to win like that? Like, that's already set yourself up for failure. You're going to let the guy at the bar buy your girl's dinner? That's what this feels like. The Cardinals are paying Kyler $35 million to be their quarterback. The Vikings are paying him the league minimum, and they expect this to work. They're showing no commitment to him, and they're not going to stick to him either because they don't care.
Question for you real quick.
Hammer, then over to Michael.
Go to Michael.
Okay, Michael. Yeah, thank you, Michael, for dropping that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I was just gonna say, why would they pay him this year if they don't have to, though?
I know, but they don't. They don't. But that's why it's such a bad contract. It's such a bad marriage. The greater question is why would they go?
It's more of a prove it for Kyler, but they're just not giving him the real chance to actually prove it. That's kind of what
I know, but Michael, don't you see how you're answering your own question? By not paying him and having no commitment, what are they doing, Michael? What are they doing right now to prove?
I agree with that. I'm just saying you shouldn't have paid him. Like, they didn't need to pay him yet because he hasn't.
But Michael, that's what I'm saying. The fact that they're giving him the league minimum, that is putting them in a position where they're like, now we can make this a committee, or we can drag this out. If they, that's why they should have never got in bed with this contract, because now they have no commitment to Kyler. He's on the league minimum, getting paid $35 million by another team. Last time this happened, Russell Wilson in Denver. He leaves Denver, goes to Pittsburgh. Denver pays Russell Wilson, I believe it was $35 million as well. On a 1-year deal, $1 million. Russell Wilson got paid $1 million to play for the Steelers. He was getting $35 million from Denver that same year. Same thing with Kyler. It makes you have zero commitment, and so you shouldn't get involved in the contract. You're saying it should be a good thing that the Vikings can. No, it's not a good thing because it shows no commitment. They have no loyalty to putting Kyler out there.
Well, it's not a good thing because they're not just naming him the starter. I feel like the proper way to do it was to also not pay him because he hasn't proven anything, but also say, hey, you're coming in, you're our guy, we're going to give you all the tools to succeed.
Michael, if you're paying him $1 million, you have no commitment to do it, is what I'm saying. So they shouldn't have gotten in bed with this contract because it doesn't motivate them at all. They're motivated zero to give him. If they paid him
that's a personal problem if that's the case.
I know, but you're saying it's a good thing. It's not a good thing though. It ends up being a bad thing. If you had the right person, I guess at the front of this, maybe. But you're still, here's the thing. Let me give you the example. Let's say they're paying Kyler $10 million. $10 million. They send him out there. He looks bad in 2 straight weeks. They're still going to stick with him because they're paying him $10 million. And he could iron it out. Kyler Murray might go out there in a game and a half, look bad. They'll pull him. That's the problem when the money's not there. And that's also why when people say, well, why does it matter that a player is like Kyron's not on a long-term deal and he's a late draft capital guy? Because they have no commitment and they'll just, and thank God Kyron got his long-term deal. But that's why you're always worried about that is without the long-term commitment, the leash is not even there. They don't even have him on a leash. It's like a runaway dog. He doesn't do well, let him go. They just don't care. I get what you're saying, but unfortunately, it's feeding. We're seeing the evidence of it, Michael, that we're seeing this team not commit to Kyler because they're not paying him commitment type money. That's the problem. And so they never should have got in bed with a contract that required them to give Kyler the league minimum, essentially. And they give him the no tag clause, which is stupidity. What? What, Michael?
No, I was gonna say, go ahead, Hammer, because we're running low on time.
Yeah, go ahead, Hammer. Hammer, then rock out. And then, we got a caller on 514. Go ahead, Hammer.
You can go to 514.
514, you're live. From Montreal.
I think back to your point, Smitty, about them having no real risk involved with Kyler is another reason I think they'll probably give JJ another shot because they have a first-round pick invested in him.
Absolutely. That sounds
unless the only way they don't is if Kyler comes in and he absolutely lights it on fire. Right. I don't know if it'll happen because I think they would have seen it by now in practice. But he is incompetent on their side.
But here's why we're dropping JJ in the rankings is because they're not putting Kyler in a position to dominate. They're not even letting him have full reign. And so now it's like, this is why I was kind of okay saying earlier in the season, we bank on Kyler being way better than McCarthy. But when this team is literally telling you we still want to flirt with the idea of JJ McCarthy up until we're breaching August 1, and this battle is still going to be going on according to the reports today, at least. We hope that the reports are going to be wrong, and then we can adjust a little bit. But I don't even know if I'm going to adjust that much. The fact that this team is flirting with the idea of JJ McCarthy tells us that they, A, don't have the confidence in Kyler we thought they might. B, it's not going to prepare Kyler, so Kyler's going to fail. And C, because of their desire to still look under the hood with JJ McCarthy, which they won't be able to if they put Kyler out there, they'll now go back to it. Like, you're 100% right. He's going to get back on the field. And the one reason he's going to get back on the field is because they're not setting Kyler up for success. Like, how is Kyler supposed to do well if he can't even get more than half the reps? It's just ridiculous.
Oh, I agree. It could also be a world where they just both suck to the point where maybe Kyler, that peak that we saw Kyler a couple 4 or 5 years ago, maybe that Kyler's dead.
Maybe Minnesota.
This is just what he is at this point in his career.
Maybe that Minnesota coaching staff, the game's passed him by, because this is another
that's true.
Another debacle looking situation that they've set up for themselves. They've made their own bed. You know, they passed on. First of all, think about the sequence of everything that this stupid staff has done. Okay? They could have brought Sam Darnold back, who they put on their shoulders and said, you are the king, you're the best. He has one bad game, unravels, and they don't bring Sam Darnold back, who was very loyal to that situation. That was on Minnesota. That was their stupid move that they made. Then on top of that, they go and believe in JJ McCarthy, which we clearly said from the beginning, this kid cannot play professional football. So then they go toward the Kyler situation instead of going and getting Mac Jones, who Kyle Shanahan said he was so happy when a team didn't give the offer they were willing to accept, meaning he was as good as gone. All Minnesota had to do was go after him. So Minnesota's made decision after decision after decision. It's not one, it's not two, it's not three. It's like 4 or 5 horrible quarterback-related decisions. I think it's time to say that this is not the staff that it used to be.
I don't disagree. As a Niner fan, I was sure that Mac Jones would have been on a different roster this year. I'm very surprised a team didn't come and scoop him up for as good as he looked those 4 to 6 weeks when Birdie was out.
I don't see how people could think Minnesota is so bad with a healthy QB. I just explained it though, D. I mean, this is a competent staff, my boy, that's continuing to rinse and repeat how to lose. Let me go over to, let me close it out here unless we get the extender. Hammer, final thoughts, then Rock Out, final thoughts, then Michael, final thoughts, and then we'll go to Montreal for final thoughts, and then we're out of here. Unless we get an extender, which I'd be happy to stay, but go ahead, Hammer, close it out.
Yeah, I know. Again, you said like the AFC East was, shifting and being gone. In hindsight, again, I understand what that Seattle defense looked like. Would the outcome have been any different if Josh Allen was playing? I don't know.
Okay.
But just food for thought.
Yeah.
That's all I have. I appreciate it.
Hammer, appreciate you, my boy. Later. Hey, Hammer, you are planning to come out next year, right? I didn't see your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be a blast, bro. It was so fun, and we didn't even get a chance to hang out that long. So next year will be double time. I figure we'll make the Lucille's barbecue the Friday night tradition. We'll go from there. All right, thank you, Hammer. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, peace.
Later. Final thought. Rock out.
Just give JJ the ball. He's always open. 7-Eleven.
I don't even know if he's open. I don't even know that they're running him. Hey, JJ, run a go route. And it's like, I don't even think they're they're not even putting JJ in a place to succeed, like where he can overcome. Luis dropping a $20 extender. Luis says, you ain't going.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
Welcome home, Kawhi.
See you next year, Smitty. My word is worth gold. Okay, Luis, I'm going to hold you to that. I don't care if
if Luis is going, I'm going.
I'm going. I don't care if you get abducted by aliens. You better have them drop you off for at least 48 hours. Yeah, Michael, you should come, bro. You're in San Diego. It's not that big of you could just drive down.
Yeah, that's an easy drive for me.
That's
I've
drive.
done it many times.
It was a blast, bro. We didn't even have that many people, but we hung out for like 2.5 hours, I want to say, just at Lucille's barbecue, just eating barbecue, just talking till they closed. And then the draft was fun. That was a good time. And then we had, because there weren't as many people, there was some chaos going on. We didn't really hang out as much that evening. We hung out for like an hour or two after the thing, but next year we'll plan on it being like a 3-day endeavor, like breakfast, the Friday night dinner, and like, even if like Scott Fishbowl doesn't return to Arizona, which it will, it's such a big success. I mean, Human Ziggy ran it all. Human Ziggy, if anybody doesn't remember Human Ziggy, he's just a watcher of the show. He came to the Vegas one when I streamed the Vegas Scott Fish Bowl. He sat next to me and everyone called him Human Ziggy because he was like, I was away from Ziggy, and they're like, he's your Human Ziggy. And so he had no connection to it at all, but he asked if he could run one in Phoenix, and he just put it all together. He organized it all, and there was 4 draft boards of people. So, and then there was everyone brought a significant, or a lot of people brought a significant other. The whole room was full. And so he did a really good job, fantastic job. So I think they're going to repeat it because it was very big success. It was a huge event. So hats off to Human Ziggy. But even if they didn't do it, I still think this should be like a yearly thing. It was really fun. Thank you, Luis, for dropping that extender, my boy. I forgot to put the timer up, but 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Let me put 5 minutes up. 5 minutes. I'll put 6 minutes up for Luis. Appreciate you, my boy. 6. If you want to call on Luis, go ahead. Hammer, you're free to call back if you have anything else you want to say. Rock out. Go ahead. Close it out.
I just hope they give Kyler the ball so he can give it to JJ and hope for the best.
Yeah, but I don't know, Rock out. I mean, even if they do, how long does it last, man?
Not that long.
You think about Arizona, you think about Minnesota, and it's the same damn thing, man. There's JJ McCarthy, there's Carson Beck. I'm not saying Beck's good at all. I'm not saying he's good at all. I'm not. But yeah. I'm not the one coaching. I'm not the one making the stupid. You got imbeciles potentially running this organization. One of which, you can call LaFleur good. Might be good, might be bad. I don't know. I'm not totally sold on LaFleur, and I'm not totally against him yet. But I do know that when you brought him in, he said, "I got an idea. Let's bring in Nathaniel Hackett."
Heck of a job.
So what does that mean about LaFleur? I don't know. It doesn't sound good. It wasn't a good start. That's like walking in and just kicking yourself right in the sack on day one. Not a good start. And what do both these teams do if they're 2-7? Keep starting Brissett? Or I would, but are they going to do that? No. Is Kyler Murray going to remain in the lineup if he's 2-7? No, they're going to say, hey, I mean, think about this logically. if they're debating between Kyler and K9 now, and Kyler barely wins, and Kyler fails, what is the next logical step for that team that believes in that sequence? Well, what about the guy that he beat out? Should we put him in? Because that's what the Vikings are going to do. If Kyler fails, they won't leave him in all year. And we know what J9 is with JJ, or what JJ is with J9, nothing.
Yep.
There's almost if Kyler doesn't just absolutely explode, even if Kyler plays decent, like Brissett plays decent, let's say, these two teams might sit them anyway because they're debating. They were debating anyway. So if they're not winning, wins are what matters. It doesn't matter if Kyler's running for 50 yards a game and he's feeding JJ. If they're not winning, they're going to turn to the consideration that they were looking into. That's it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Following up on that comment regarding Allen, I think I already read that one. Vader, appreciate you. Simi Valley. There's Simi Valley right there. I've never seen someone with the cojones of Simi Valley walking up to the draft board. I'm going to make a little funny little video on this, but walks up to the draft board, makes one of the turn picks, and then sits back down and doesn't do the other turn pick. This table lost their mind. They're like, what in the hell is he doing? He sat down for another 5 minutes, and he's like, I don't know who I'm going to take. He went up and took one of his turn picks and then sat down for 5 minutes. It was like the whole live chat was like just balls of steel. That whole table. Oh, all right. Thank you, Rock Out. Appreciate you, my boy. Later.
Can I give you like 3?
Oh, sorry, Rock Out. I hit the button. We got 2 minutes left, Rock Out. I got to swing around. Montreal, final go. If we extend it, Rock Out, call back in. Montreal, close it out for us. What was your name again, bro? Mark. Biscuits dropped a $20 extender. That's another 5 minutes. So Rock Out, you can call back in. Go ahead, Mark, and close out what you were wanting to say.
I think back to my point before. I think regardless, I think we're going to see both quarterbacks hit the field for Minnesota this year. And I think if that happens, I think JJ's as good as gone next year.
Thank you, Luis.
Thank you.
Yeah,
like he was really quiet last year with all the chaos going around. I don't like. He's 27. He's closer to the end than he is the beginning.
Yeah, I 100% agree. JJ's
going to be 31 teams that are going to be banging on the door to trade for him.
Yeah, I agree, bro. The question is, can he get to Joe Burrow? How can he get to Joe Burrow, bro? Higgins, and I know Joe loves Higgins though, but I don't know, man. It's business.
Hate Higgins too, so the cap situation will just be a mess.
Yeah,
Philly. I don't know if it would, because Philly got that extra. They got that pick from New England.
What's the dead cap on T Higgins? Let's see, because he just signed that deal not too long ago, but it shouldn't be too bad. T Higgins.
But I don't think wide receiver would be even if you added Jefferson. I still don't think it solves Cincinnati's problem.
I think it does.
Like that defense is still going to be really, really bad.
They're improving it, bro. They're improving it. It's going to be even better this year than people expect. 2020.
Well, I mean, it can't get worse.
Potential out in 2027. I'm not saying that they want to get out. I'm just saying, okay, so dead cap in 2027 is 7. Yeah, no, they can trade T Higgins easily. He's easily traded.
But then you got to pay Jetta's too, because Jetta's contract is done 2028, 2020, end of 27.
That would be.
That's going to be 35. That's going to be 35 plus.
Is that? I was going to say Joe restructures. What were you going to say? Joe will pay it. Joe Burrow will pay.
I guess. Yeah.
Joe's got it. He's got the check, please. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. What would that offer look like? Would it still be 2 first-rounders and T Higgins, or would it be?
No, I think it'll be 1 first and T Higgins.
1 and T. I mean, 1 T and a second.
The Vikings would be crazy to not go for 2, though. If you're the Vikings, you got to ask for the moon.
I don't know if you get 2 first and T. Because
you guys don't get them. We'll deal them elsewhere.
If Jettas gets traded, I think it's a similar package to what the Chiefs got for Hill or what they got for Adams, where it was 2 firsts, or they're going to get a first and a player. Because those firsts are probably going to be really low. Because I'm expecting Cincinnati to be a lot better.
Vikings.
That's my point. Why you could ask for 2 though.
What about 2? What about 2 first rounders and T. Higgins? And I mean, what if they throw like back a second or something? I mean, you could always try and even scale back out. You don't have to just. But
is that gonna move the needle for a win though? If you're the Bengals, I feel like teams aren't gonna take you serious.
That's what I'm saying.
I think so. Guys, they're improving their defenses. Their defense is going to be better this year. It's going to be pretty good.
It's going to be better, but like we can't act like it's going to
still going to be bad.
You don't need it to be number 5. You just need to be like in the middle of.
Sure.
Yeah, man, you can win off that.
Yeah, if the Bengals defense was 17 last year,
Jamar Chase, JJ Burrow, and Chase Brown in a middle tier defense. You guys aren't thinking. You guys aren't thinking straight.
Furious.
You guys aren't thinking straight. That is enough to win. That is enough to win.
But I think there's a big. big step between where they are now to the middle.
Guys, come on. Later on, if that ends up happening, you know how many people are going to be putting in comment sections if that trade were to get announced. It's over now. Super Bowl Bengals. Like, come on, that's a super team. And you only need a middle of the pack defense. You only need that. Not to mention your offensive line's going to play a lot better because you're spreading the damn ball out.
I agree with the other caller. I don't think it's going to be middle of the pack right now. I think it's better. I mean, it was bottom of the league last year. I think it's better.
Even if it's like 18,
if you trade those picks, you get rid of your future assets to build around the defense, and then you just get Jefferson,
we've seen. Look at what the Bears did in a single offseason of free agency with the offensive line. Look what you can do. So many things just in free agency alone. You know, and I know,
but I also trust the Bears front office more than I trust the Bengals to do anything.
I don't know. I mean, you have JJ, Chase Brown,
and Burrow.
A little unfair if you've got JJ, Chase Brown, Joe Burrow, Chase, and Jamar Chase, and you're saying, I don't know if I trust the Bengals to get. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Not to mention, even when people say that now, you have Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. You took care of the defense the best you could this offseason. You paid. Like, what aren't the Bengals doing? Like, everyone says that about the Bengals. That's a lot of talent, man. The teams would kill to have that amount of talent. Look at Josh Allen. Like Hammer said,
throw at the same time.
Like Hammer said, look at Josh Allen. He's begging for slops and scraps at a wide receiver. Give me Amari Cooper. Could have DJ Moore at their end of their careers. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
Give Josh Jefferson.
Yeah, JJ in Buffalo, they won't do it though. Buffalo
that would break the internet.
He'd have to be with a walker. Once JJ's got a walker, they'll trade for him. Like Buffalo don't care, bro. I'm a Bills fan. I can tell you right now. They just don't do it. I mean, I'm hopeful DJ Moore is good enough though for a year.
Yeah, but it's not solving the long-term problem. That's the issue. It's all rentals. What it seems Buffalo's doing. It's all Band-Aid.
Yeah.
On an injury that needs surgery.
All right. So, Rock Out, call back in. Rock Out, what did you have real quick? And real quickly, actually, Biscuits is the one that extended this. Biscuit says, if you announce Murray as the starter. Biscuits, you still here? Thank you so much for the extender. Let me put this up real quickly.
5-minute extender.
And let me put up another 2 minutes for Biscuits just to cover this topic. I don't want to give Biscuits 24 seconds and then cut Rock Out off. So two more minutes here. Anybody wants the show to go on, $20 super chat extends the show another 5 minutes. And you control the narrative. Whatever topic you want, put it in your extender and we'll talk about your topic. Dynasty, whatever. If you announce Murray as a starter, what do you do with McCarthy? I think McCarthy opens as a starter and then loses a job to Murray. I think Murray bounces back. Murray fails. JJ demands a trade. JJ has no ability to get traded. Like, there's no market for him. No, you can't. It's almost like saying, like a D actor says, like he's demanding a lead role in a movie. Like, you can't. Like, JJ McCarthy has no grounds to call for a trade. But maybe he does. Maybe he still does.
He's saying Jefferson.
Oh, Okay, JJ McCarthy. Sorry, I thought you were saying McCarthy because he was talking about McCarthy here. JJ. Okay, yeah, Biscuits. He does. He's demanding a trade. You're 100%. I'm sorry about that, Biscuits. Thank you, Michael, for clarifying. But I don't know that they're going to give JJ McCarthy obviously they're considering it, or they would have just shut this competition down. But I think they'll give it to Kyler, and then they rip it from Kyler if he's not successful. That's the way I predict it happens. The other thing that you got to remember is, like, JJ said several times that he feels really good to have a quarterback that has experience throwing him the ball now and all that. So he's pretty much, JJ kind of alluded to that Kyler will start, but I don't know, man. It's, Kyler's complained. You could say that this is smoke and mirrors. The coaching staff is just trying to create noise, but they're not, because Kyler's at the mic talking to beat reporters saying, I'm only getting half the reps. It's hard to prepare with half the reps. So Kyler's not happy that he's in a committee and he's in a full-blown competition. That is not like some deceptive coaching speak that's going on. Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. Any final thoughts, my boy? Canada? Damn it, what was your name again, bro? Bill? Mark. Sorry, Mark. Mark, are you Mark from the are you Mark C?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that, bro. Let me put you in the system, Mark C. Mark C from Patreon, and from, you drop super chats once in a while. Okay, Mark C, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
now I know. Now I got
I'm good, bro. You're good.
Now I got you connected. Final thought, bro. Mark C, appreciate you.
I think that's about it. I think the Vikings are going to crash and burn, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Yeah, I agree, bro.
I don't see a good, the division.
I appreciate you, man. All right. We'll see you later. Call in anytime, bro.
Have a good one. Take care, Smitty.
Later. Rock out, final thoughts, then Michael, final thoughts. If there's an extender, you guys can call back in, of course. Thank you very much, Biscuits. Biscuits, where you at? I haven't seen you in here. Thank you for dropping this extender, you monster. Please reply, Biscuits, if you're out there. Go ahead. Luis dropping an extender. We're not going anywhere. Luis says we're not going anywhere.
Okay.
Rock out, go ahead.
So around like the 8-9 pick, what's your percentage between Hampton and St. Brown and Lamb?
Hampton, St. Brown, and Lamb? That's a great question, yeah. Rock out. I would probably say, Luis, thank you very much with the extender, Luis. He's right there over there. This is what New Age Outlaws.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes. Due to
New Age Outlaw can't wait for that to be played, because I guess New Age Outlaw's cat loves when Luis is running around the screen like that. Extender from Mark C. There's Mark C. He says, let's keep the show rolling. 9 minutes and 20 seconds now on the board. So another extender from Mark C. Mark C says, we aren't going anywhere. We're doing it live. Where's my extender button again? Boom, Mark C. Appreciate you, my boy, from Canada.
There we go.
Dynasty mode.
Dynasty mode. I didn't. My whole board's going screwy. Hold on. Mark activated Dynasty board somehow. Mark, what are you doing, bro?
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
Yeah, I think we just did. I think we just tore him down to size, damn it. Where's Biscuits at? Biscuits, thank you for the extender. I don't know if you're still there. I just want you to know I appreciate you. Go ahead, rock out with your closing statement, which can now be a lot longer. Biscuits.
Yeah, since we're now trying to take JJ around the 8th pick, what's your percentage between Hampton, St. Brown, and Lamb?
Hampton, St. Brown, Lamb. Okay, so this is a little game we play where it's like, if I have to divide this up percentage-wise, like out of 10 drafts. So Hampton, St. B, and Lammy.
Yep.
This is a good
Hampton.
one. 35, 35, and 30. which is kind of odd given that I'm drafting Lamb ahead of Hampton, but that's an ADP hurdle more so than like if the ADP shifted, I'd be fine with it because I clearly feel like I'm wanting to draft Hampton a little bit more than Lamb, who's sharing such a spotlight with Pickens. So that's probably why that lives like that, even though the ADP is slightly off of that. But this is where I would say if I did 10 drafts, I want it this way. 35%, 35%, 30. But that's diversification across the portfolio. If you were to take Lamb out and make this JJ, then it's probably going to be 50, 50, 0. When you're talking about these guys, because I'm as I've said, I'm no longer taking JJ in round 1. And so I guess the real question would be, let's put some players up against JJ that makes some sense, like Walker, who's going a little bit later than that 13-14 pick. So if JJ were to send him to the middle of the second round. We've got Bowers. We've got let's say who?
Maybe Brown.
AJB. Okay, I like that. But AJB to me, you could take it like 2.1 or 2.10 or whatever. This is a good one. Honestly,
yeah.
With these names, 0% JJ.
Mm-hmm.
AJB 35
mm-hmm.
35 30.
In Dynasty?
No, this is redraft. I know we activated the
redraft
a minute ago on accident.
Redraft.
If we were going to say Dynasty, then yes. Okay, great question. Oh, wow, this changes everything in Dynasty. If this is Dynasty, this is like...
Yeah,
of
course.
60% Bowers, maybe more. I'm penciling this out right now, just kind of spitballing it. Probably 15% JJ. The fact that I'm not getting what I want this year is a real detriment, though, even though I like the Dynasty value more. We got Luis with another extender. Another
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes due to a $20 super chat.
Just piling it on.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
Just piling it on. Thank you, Luis. Appreciate you very much. Luis is the man, the myth, the legend. So JJ 15%. AJB. God, I still like him a little bit in Dynasty. Is that crazy? Like 15. Now maybe 10%. You can't. It's just you don't have. You almost crazy. Just have to like shift everything to Bowers. Really, I'd say Bowers. Maybe it's like 80%. I don't know. 10%. 10%. This would be 0. Can't have that. So that means we got to borrow from this 7. 70. So like, would it be like? Would this make sense? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 70. I don't know. That kind of feels a little bit like the way my mind's working right now with it. It's such a tough question. Because I honestly, like, JJ isn't that much more valuable than AJB because you're getting a real bad year and then you're getting a monster year out of AJB this year, which is cash money. And then AJB might play 2 more years.
So what's the likelihood then? I guess the next topic for Jettas is how likely is he gone? After just a horrible season and he's going into his age 28 season, the Vikings, you would think, are like, okay, we have to make a choice, right? Are we going to rebuild and maximize his value now, or are we just going to let him rot on the roster?
So let's say, and by the way, Luis, appreciate your super chat. I didn't read it. He said, Mark C, shout out to Fantasy Football Crew, Scott Fishbowl 2027. Here we come, bro. It's going to be insane. It's going to be, we're going to be talking. We can put like a countdown on the board or something. We'll have a countdown board. How many days till we meet up for the barbecue? Okay, so here's the question that you need to ask me. Let's say there's a 80% chance, or Travis says 75% chance he's gone.
Travis.
Okay, so let's use Travis's 75% chance. 75% chance he's bye-bye. Okay? If that's the case, you know he's going somewhere solid. No team's trading for him, most likely, that isn't going to have a competent
AFC
quarterback.
most likely, because they probably want him out of the conference.
So if we say 75% chance he's bye-bye, then all of a sudden this maybe looks like, and I'm not lowering Bowers because of him. It's just that I'm needing to open up more percentage and you're just wanting to diversify. Then I think I'm more like 25. 50. I don't know. It'd be somewhere along the lines of this structure where I'm going Bowers 50%. I still want him the majority of everybody. But now I need to open up some room. JJ with Joe Burrow, JJ in Buffalo, JJ in, I don't know, like just a much better situation, a lucrative environment. All of a sudden I'm back in because I think he gives you 2-3 years, at that level. So if you guaranteed me 75% chance he was gone after this year, I might bite the bullet, but how does my team look? Can I win now? Then I wouldn't do it in that league. If I'm kind of floating anywhere, there's 2 teams that are better than mine, and I've got to try and have a miracle happen. Maybe I would take the chance, build around JJ, buy him low. I'm rebuilding, buy him low. So I'd say 25%. He shoots up to 25% out of 2.5 times out of 10. I'm drafting or trading for him in this scenario.
Yeah, I'm surprised how low you are, actually, if he goes somewhere else. I agree with Travis here, because I think if he goes somewhere else, like you said, it's going to be a good spot. They're not going to send him somewhere trash.
But you didn't tell.
I know he's getting old. He's getting up there, but we see Devontae Adams. We see these great receivers play into their 30s, man. I think he can just play another 5 years.
But what did you see? What number?
It'll be a similar consensus. If he gets traded next year, it'll be a very similar scenario to AJB getting traded. Similar age.
I think it's better.
Going from a quarterback.
He's not as injury. He's not as injury prone.
No, yeah, for sure. But I mean, depending on the.
Boys, hold on a second.
Might not be as good as May.
Remember though, you're speaking as if that's a guarantee. Remember, Travis's number is 75% though. So I'm going off my 25% is off of Travis's 75% chance he's traded. There's still 25. That's still a big percentage chance. I can't get behind that when I've got Bowers on the board. You know what I mean? If you told me there's 100% certainty he's with Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, 100% certainty he's bye-bye, then maybe my number goes to 35-40. I think Bowers has to be ahead of him. So whether Bowers is 45,
of course,
he's 35, then I have. But then it's like,
I don't think Bowers is a good comparison because he's so young and so dominant at his position that, you have to take him. But I think CeeDee Lamb's a good versus, because I still think a lot of people are taking Jefferson. I don't understand that one, because CeeDee Lamb's just locked into a great spot for probably the rest of his career. Even with Pickens there, you're not really guessing on his situation like you are Justin Jefferson. So I don't know.
So are you in Dynasty? Are you wanting, like, if someone offered you Loveland and a first rounder in 2029, that's a mid to late pick, so you get Loveland in a 2029 late one, are you taking that? Or yeah, are you taking JJ?
I think Jefferson. That seems disrespectful to me, actually.
I actually, let's ask everybody on the phone, like, what do you...
Jefferson actually just got moved recently in my dynasty, maybe about a month ago. And let me just pull up what the value was. It was, he got moved for two firsts. They're probably going to be very late. It was a 26 and a 27 first. But I think that's, if you go around most leagues, I think that's what his value would be. I don't see him getting moved for less.
Okay, but wouldn't you agree that Loveland could easily get it? You could easily get a first rounder for Loveland if you were trading Loveland away. You could get a first rounder for Loveland. He's a top 3 tight end.
Oh, he is.
So this is like 2 first rounders. But I'm not trying to argue that this is a bad take to like either side. I'm just saying that I don't think it's
no. I just think that 29 first is so far away.
Right. That's why I did that, is to see where your line is. Okay, let's say
it depends what the team's roster is.
Let's say it's a very late 2027. Very late 2027. Does that change your mind, Michael from San Diego?
A late 27
Mm-hmm.
in Loveland?
Yeah.
No. I still think that's rude to Jefferson. I think Loveland's value is going way too far if that's where we are. Because like you said, if he gets moved, his value is going to go right back to the top. I mean, and it's very likely if the Vikings are bad, they're not going to just hold on and let him rot there.
Luis, what do you think?
I think they even like him to the point where they would just move him out of respect.
Luis, drop your comment as to what side you like, Loveland in a 27 late first rounder or JJ. Let me ask this question then. So let me put I'm trying to think of the right combination here. I mean, some of these are players I'm just not super high on. What if it was JJ, so Flowers and a 28. Let's just put a number on this. Let's call this 1.7 in 2028. Let's say you just know that you know the number. Or JJ. What side in Dynasty are you guys wanting? 2028 1.7 or JJ with Flowers? The pick with Flowers for JJ.
Yeah, right now. JJ. I think I'd rather JJ.
I'm going Jefferson too.
I like that trade less than the Loveland trade, personally.
What about 2027 1.7 and 2027 in Flowers? Does that change it for you?
I really don't like Flowers.
Okay, I don't either.
Personally.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Flowers isn't enough to make that move for me.
Flowers doesn't move the needle for me, like, not even a bit. I'd rather just hold on to JJ and let him die on my team.
Lad McConkey 27 1.7 or JJ.
Is this with him or without him getting traded? Or are we doing the 75%? Like, what's the...
I mean, no, right now. Right now. We don't know what's in store. I mean, let's get back to reality.
No. Because it's like BTJ in a way where it's like, it's either going to be good and we're going to love what we got, or it's going to be bad and they're going to trade him.
I'm taking Lad in the pick. I'm taking Lad in the pick.
I think I am. The only way I'm not is if I'm in a chance to win now with Jefferson. I just hope.
But are you winning now with Jefferson, bro? Are you going to win now with Jefferson?
I mean, you could.
You might win now with Lad.
There is a world.
Is there a world that Lad is...
There is a world where everything meshes. There is a world where everything meshes perfectly well for Jefferson this year.
But is there a world where...
But
is there a world where even if that happens,
I would still probably go Lad, but I don't hate if anybody takes that trade.
I feel like even if JJ everything lines up, there's a chance Lad is right next to him anyway.
Yeah.
What about 1.5 2027 and BTJ?
So many question marks.
I don't like this one. I'm going comfortable.
We got the Worldwide West wants to extend the show. He says, I'm not done. We're not leaving. Wes, appreciate you.
It's either burns your team to the ground or just catapult you with BTJ.
Yeah, I gotta hold 5-minute extender. The show has just been extended.
I don't like that answer, but
Travis, you want to dial in on this
thing to do?
Are you kind of?
I don't even know where I don't know what I even think about Jefferson anymore. With everything that's transpired.
Give me BTJ and the 1.5 over J. I know this sounds crazy, guys, but I'm not sure.
It doesn't sound crazy.
I don't know what's in store for.
There's a world where
I'm looking at it like he gets moved if it's bad. That's why I'm holding the fort. To me, like, yeah, he's 27, but I mean, look at Devontae Adams at 20. I know it's different players, but like the elite players last into their early 30s, and I don't think Jefferson's going to just fall off at 30.
Yeah, especially that he's not built on like explosive risk.
Yeah, but his game's going to translate to
Yeah, he'll play the same way until he's 34.
So I guess
for me,
the way
he's going to end up elsewhere.
I guess the way I'm looking at it is this, and maybe I'm pulling the trigger too quickly, because I do think that maybe I would regret making this trade in some ways, but I would also feel like I could take this pick because people think this 1.5 2027 is golden. Remember, we're not just saying a mid. I'm pinpointing 1.5. I think you could take that and a future first, or you could take that and another player and turn the sum total into something that's just better. But that would take a little bit of a leap of faith to go in that direction.
It's close.
But yeah.
Or I agree with that. If it's a top 3 pick in BTJ, all day. So I think that's how close the margin is.
Travis is on the phone.
5,
Travis,
I'm a little bit more iffy.
Travis, you like BTJ in the 1.5 2027 locked in 1.5. Let's say we had it, we knew what it was, or JJ Dynasty, knowing what we know now, knowing exactly what we know now.
JJ, because I look at JJ's situation like similar to what we're looking at with Garrett Wilson, and I mean JJ is a lot better. Where obviously I'm taking a risk, but I think by 2027 he's in a good situation. Whether it could be simple as Mac Jones being there next year, or he gets traded or something like that, or Kyler works out. I guess I'm just willing to take those outs, and like I said in the chat, I'm more in the business of trying to buy JJ, at a good price in Dynasty rather than selling.
I still am.
I
still am. I'm still doing both. What about Ladd in a 27 1.5?
I'd still keep JJ.
Okay, let me find your line.
If it was like 1.3 with Ladd, I'd probably pull the trigger.
What about is Tate or Tyson? Either one, you get your pick of one of these guys.
No.
I think I'd rather JJ.
All right, let me flip the script here on this one. What about Neighbors versus JJ and a 29 unknown first rounder, probably mid to late? 29 unknown first rounder and JJ or Neighbors.
I'm taking Neighbors. I might even want Neighbors straight up. I don't know if that might be a little crazy.
Wait,
but I think I would rather have
no. You have to give up JJ and the first rounder in this situation.
I think I would switch. I would if I had JJ. I think I would accept just Neighbors straight up.
No, you're not hearing me. You have to give up JJ and a first to get Neighbors.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably still do it.
29 mid to late. Okay. Luis dropping another extender.
5-minute extender.
The show has just been extended 5 minutes.
We're not going anywhere.
Due to a $20 super chat.
Don't do it.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful.
Not leaving. Okay, Travis, you'd rather have Neighbors in this situation?
Yeah, if I think it's probably a later or back half of the draft. Yeah, Neighbors so young.
Yeah, says Mike deserves his own video. I'll make one for Mike. No problem. Mike from San Diego. It's still Loveland over JJ in Dynasty. Mike has the best takes, says Luis. Luis gravitating toward Mike tonight, says Mike's his boy. You said Neighbors?
Yeah.
Travis? Okay. Thank you, Luis. Yep. Appreciate you. What about, let me go in a running back direction real quickly. JJ or... Let me put JJ down at the bottom again, and let's go 29 mid first rounder. 29 mid first rounder in Breece Hall or JJ.
JJ. There's like only a couple, like a handful of running backs I'd move JJ for.
Really? You're low on Jefferson now, Smitty. That's crazy.
Hard not to be.
I'm not saying I'd take Hall here. I'm just trying to find your guys' line. But I don't think I mean, handful of running backs. I only have to go up just a.
It'll take 3 years from now. That's crazy. I would say
I only have to go up a
projection.
smidge. I only have to go up a smidge, and we're right at James Cook. So James Cook and a 29 first rounder.
Cook.
Only if I really need a running back. Otherwise, I'll keep JJ.
Okay, so that means that, at least for everyone else, that Chase Brown, JT, Love, Hampton, Genty, Achane, Bijan, Gibbs, all those guys, obviously you'd rather have.
I would, yeah.
So I'd say more than a handful. There's definitely a lot, but okay. So let me ask Travis this, because I know that this is. I mean, you would rather let's call this a 27 1.5. You know it's 1.5. I know we couldn't know that, but we're pretending we do. Hendy and a 27 1.5 or JJ.
I'm gonna be stumped. I guess Hendy, because I think I can use that 1.5.
So more than a handful. Yeah, I think we can massage this into.
When it's a 29 pick, I mean.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
The
What about?
29 just doesn't do much for me.
What about a 2027 1.3 alone, JJ, or a 27 1.3?
So that's either the wide receiver 2 or the RB2. JJ.
What about 1.2? The RB1 rookie next year.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that.
Everybody on the phone line agree? 1.1 rookie?
Yeah.
1.1 is easy. 1.2 I'd take too.
1.1, 1.2. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I would give up. Yeah, Michael, you said I'm not very high on JJ. I'm just asking you guys the questions. I haven't even been answering these. I wouldn't trade JJ for the 1.3 2027. I wouldn't. Because I don't know what that's going to be. I have no clue what that's going to be. Nobody does. JJ, we also don't have no clue, but we do probably feel like it's going to be better. He's going to get somewhere else, or they're going to bring in the quarter. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. So I'm going to bank on that, because there's unknowns either way. This feels a little bit more steady, but that's my value. Now, if you told me, let's say Hendy, what pick would I need with Hendy? If I would take the 1.2 straight up, I would take the 1.2 and Hendy. The question is, does Hendy close the gap with the 1.3? So if you give me the 1.3 2027 and Hendy, does that give me enough firepower? Does this 1.3 drop from 1.2 so big that Hendy can't close the gap? That's kind of where I'm at with JJ. So just to give you an idea where my dynasty value is with JJ, it's actually probably higher than you think. But this would be debatable for me, because I think I can get rid of this for gold. I think I could get so much for it.
That's why I said yes to the 1.5 with Hendy, because I think anything in the top 5 next year is going to get you a huge piece alone.
Like I could probably get, for the 1.3, I could probably get like way above Burden,
Oh yeah,
so like Hendy and a much better receiver than that.
Yeah, some people would give you like Kenneth Walker, or maybe, I don't know what's an equivalent wide receiver, like a top 8 to 10 guy.
Yeah,
like you could easily get like Ladd, Hendy. So you turn into Hendy and Ladd for Jefferson.
It sucks we're even having this conversation, guys. It really does, and I think that
it really does. It's a good point.
It's a legit. What, Travis?
No, I just said it's a really good point, because like if even 2 years ago when he was wide receiver 2, you said, "Oh, we're going to be having this conversation," people would say you're crazy.
And it's a legitimate, you can't like laugh at anybody that's contemplating getting out of the JJ game for some of this stuff though, because like some people are going to bank on, like if I would have told you that we'd be walking into this year with them not yet of solving the problem, and they haven't because they're going with last year's solution that didn't work, you would probably say, oh, it'll be fine, it's going to get fixed, but it hasn't. So someone's not crazy to assume that they don't make it better, that they don't figure it out. But I do think he'll get traded. The question is, what player should you get right now for JJ if you're trying to win now and you think JJ can't be a part of that? Because, like Mark C said, well, if you're trying to win now, JJ, but like I'm posing the question, JJ might be the least likely person to help you win now. Maybe not. So I don't know. It's a really, really tough call. And if you go in the direction of, let's go into it real quickly and then we'll get out of here. Unless somebody drops an extender, I'll definitely stay. But Tyler Warren, Travis, what kind of wide receiver would you need with Tyler Warren to give up JJ to get, like, and be reasonable, Like, I'm not saying don't take something you like, but just like don't throw out, Jamar Chase.
All right, wide receiver.
Like Ladd.
Yeah, Ladd comes to mind.
Mark C, would you take Warren and Ladd for JJ in Dynasty?
I think I would.
What about, I say this, but then again, like Dynasty-wise, we don't know what he is. But Rice and Warren, you take that? Kind of have to.
Yeah, I would. Yep.
I do, but I like it a little less just because of the giant red flags that Rice drives
massive red flags. Pickens, you take Pickens and Warren, right?
Yeah.
What if Warren was Kyle Pitts and Pickens? We good there? Pitts and Pickens?
I don't know.
Really?
What's even the quarterback situation in Atlanta right now?
I take that. I mean, it's Tua Tagovailoa, but it's Tommy Reese that just turned Shador into a nice Bannon. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I think for me that would be a coin flip.
Okay, so if it wasn't Kyle Pitts, then that like made you like smash the button. What about Fannin?
Yeah, because I'm really high on Warren. Like I love Warren.
What about Fannin and Georgie Boy Pickens?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would.
What about Kraft? I know Michael just fell over. He's like, Kraft.
I think I'd rather have JJ.
Really? Over Kraft and Pickens? Woo! Michael, speak to it.
Yeah, I think that's my line in the sand. I'm going to take Kraft and Pickens there. Take Kraft and Pickens. I mean, Pickens is a low-end wide receiver 1. Kraft, I think, is the top, in my opinion, when he's fully healthy. Maybe not this season, the top 3 tight ends. So I'll take that.
Travis, Kraft and Pickens? I'd take it.
Yeah, I think you have to.
I had somebody in the chat wanted me to pose this one. Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Oh, is that Rock Out? Rock Out?
Yeah, I would take that as well.
I'm sorry, Rock Out. I haven't been including Rock Out, and I forgot you were there, Rock Out. You've been so quiet. Let me ask Rock Out this. Tate and Warren. The chat wanted me to pose that one. Or JJ.
Tate and Warren. No, I'll do JJ.
Travis? Tate and Warren? And we're assuming some things. You need Warren, right?
I think JJ.
Michael?
I got to go JJ. Just being responsible. We haven't seen Tate play a snap yet.
Chris C. Rumble, vote on these.
I think probably Tate and Warren.
And does Tyson and Warren make you want to smash the Warren and Tyson side, Travis?
Say that again, sorry.
If I made it Tyson and Warren versus JJ, is that changing your mind?
Yeah, it might push me over the edge.
All right, let's do this real quick. Caleb. This is always a fun one. Caleb and JJ. Maybe Ben Johnson's the kind of guy to figure that trade out too. Caleb and JJ or JD5 and Ladd.
JD5 and Ladd for me.
Chat, vote on that. Michael?
JD5 and Ladd or JJ.
And Caleb.
1 QB. Oh, Caleb. 1 QB, 2 QB.
1 QB.
Super foot. Oh, well. Yeah, JJ side. I'll take the JJ side.
Chris? I don't have to ask Rock out.
You mean Mark?
Sorry, Mark. Yeah. Mark, Chris, Mark C. Is your middle name Chris, by chance? Mark C?
No. For sake of argument, we'll say yeah. I'd probably still go with JD5. JD5 and Ladd.
And Rock out would take JD5 straight up. Right, Rock out. Rock out.
Yeah, in that case. I don't always take 85 and everything.
All right, let me go one step. Herbert and G Willie or Caleb and JJ. That was hard actually, because there's like so much to digest there.
Yeah,
that's probably the hardest one of the night, I think.
It surrounds what the Jets do at quarterback.
Yeah, it's part of the game.
I know.
Also, if McDaniel,
I'm just thinking out loud.
Stay, like McDaniel stay, because that can affect Herbert's ceiling.
Yeah, I think I bank on Herbs and Garrett Wilson, but the problem with this is Herb and Caleb both should have good years. I think Herbert's going to be better than Caleb, but Caleb should have a good year. Garrett Wilson and JJ, as Travis alluded to earlier, in almost the same scenario where it's like we're waiting a year, and so like you're kind of putting yourself you're kind of kicking yourself in the sack either way. Like you guys are going up to shake hands and do a trade, and you both kick each other right in the nuts. That's kind of what you're doing with this trade. But I'd take Herbie, and I think Garrett Wilson has a better shot at delivering upon expectation than JJ, given the way I feel tonight. I could change tomorrow. I might be getting over emotional too about it, like getting over invested in this situation, breaking it down, getting upset. Maybe I'll calm down a little bit on JJ tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll get worse. Maybe this is just me being real about it. I'm just reacting right away, or maybe I'm gonna back off a little bit tomorrow. I don't think I will. I think the only thing that will back me off is if the team comes out, supports Kyler. The report today was wrong. And I don't think it's wrong, though, because Kyler's complaining. So it's pretty much been backed up. But let's say the team comes out and says, never mind, we're done. We're done with this. Now it's in the media. Give Kyler all the reps. August 1's around the corner. It could be August 1. It could be this week they're waiting to do the full go Kyler situation anyway. So if Kyler gets full go reps from August 1 on, I could change my mind and get a little bit more on board JJ, but I don't know that I'm moving him in my mind much past the 13 pick. I think he's 2.1 at best for me, even if this situation improves. I'm still very, very much worried about Kyler Murray being ready. Even if they give him a lot of reps now, I'm still worried about it. It's all reminding me what we're dealing with coaching wise.
If it stays this circus in Minnesota, where do you think the lowest JJ consensus would fall to? You think he falls like to 2.6?
Kerry, are you out there? I don't know if you got my response on this. The 2.6, the furthest JJ can fall right now, unless more bad news breaks, like JJ McCarthy becomes a starter.
Considering it stays like this, it just
2.3, 2.4. But anything's possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my boys, appreciate you very much. Thank you for the extenders, Mark, C, Chris, a.k.a. Chris. Thank you for dropping the extender. Rock out, appreciate you. Michael from San Diego, appreciate you. See you in person here next year. This time next year.
One more thing, Smitty.
Yeah, go ahead, rock out.
Yeah.
Did you get my information off IG?
No, I'll check it. Thank you. Carrie,
Yeah,
are you out there?
reminder.
Yeah. Carrie, let me see Carrie's messages. 14-1 QB, Pickens, Nico, Watson, Love. Thinking of pitching Nico and ETN for London. And I said no way to this. Carrie, hopefully you got my answer on that. No way to that. Nico, he's close enough to London. You can't do that. Give up an ETN. There's just no way. All right, Travis, anything else?
Nope.
Good graveyard, boys.
Good
Good
guys.
graveyard.
Bye.
All right, later. Later, everybody. That was a good graveyard show, man. Damn. Real good graveyard show. 3-hour show. 3-hour tour. The meadow started getting lost. The tiny ship was tossed. If it wasn't for the what is it? If it wasn't for the what is it? If it wasn't for the strength of the fearless crew, the fantasy football show would be lost. All right, see you all tomorrow. Thank you to my extenders. You guys are monsters. Luis, worldwide. Mark C. Luis, Michael from San Diego. Chuck Nasty. Viral, Coach, Chucky, Coach, Thomas, Chucky again, Mike, Luis, Biscuits. I don't know if you've ever, I never saw you reply. Hopefully you saw that I appreciated your extender, my boy. See you all tomorrow. Don't forget to get your merch clicking that shop store button on the YouTube. If you go to you're on my YouTube channel now, you just click the store button. It's in the navigation of my YouTube channel. So if you go to, if you're on desktop, you'll see, home, videos, shorts, lives, podcasts. Click on store. You can get all the merch there, the new merch, the new hats. Same thing on mobile. Click the store button. That'll get you there. And don't forget year-round content, 365, 24/7 content. Bowl predictions, trade calculators, rankings, draft simulator, enter your keepers, trade calculator that you've never even dreamed of before. You don't even know that this trade calculator exists. It doesn't just say do the trade or don't do the trade. It tells you so much information in the trade calculator. Check it out. Do it live. Appreciate every single one of you. You guys absolutely rock. I'm out of here. Deuce.